bitches. What's up, Noah?
What's up, Ross?
Hey, buddy. Thanks for coming out.
No worries.
Bailing us out here. We had a cancellation on us tonight by my a-hole friends. Jake vs. Jake. Shout out to you fuckers. They got a gig offer they could not turn down, so they had to bail on me tonight. So we got in the new podcast lounge with us today, Mr. Noah Lantz, finally getting back on the show.
Yeah, thank you.
It's a good word there, guy.
The roads were very scary on the way, especially at the last minute.
I know. Yeah. He fucking came in from Kalamazoo and was
punishing, harrowing journey from Kalamazoo, about an hour and 45 minutes, dude. Is just excruciating.
Yeah, I was driving like 20 under. I'm like, God, am I just like really high? Driving way too slow. But no, it's just, flow of traffic. I was doing fine.
Right. Yeah. No, it's shit out there for sure.
It's terrible.
Night. Yeah. Yeah, man. Did you watch what we were talking about? Did you watch that Kai the Hitchhiker documentary yet?
No, I haven't. Tell me about that.
The Hatchet Wielding Hitchhiker, dude. Out of control.
It sounds like a SpongeBob villain, man. It's a hash-slinging slasher.
It's so fucking random, dude. We were just laughing our asses off about it earlier. This fucking kid, did you remember it happening at all? And because I remember it was like a huge thing online like 10 years ago. This guy that was like memes and everything. He's all smash.
Can we play the clip or will that get punted? Like the audio of the clip, is that doable?
Yeah, maybe. Let me see if I can pull it up.
I've definitely seen his face before. Like I was scrolling through Netflix. I'm like, hey, I know that guy's face from 10 years ago from memes, but I didn't know that he killed a bunch of people.
It was kind of the perfect documentary, dude. It was one of it was an hour and 20 minutes long or something and just burned right through. It just went by in a heartbeat. It's so fucking fun. The guy's such a character. He's so wild. He's probably early 20s, call it 23, 24 or something like that. Just some uber California homeless hippie kid, right?
Okay.
And so he's hitchhiking around and he catches a ride from this dude, and he's traveling on the front seat with him. And there's a little bit of a backstory where maybe this Kai guy got him high or whatever. But essentially, this dude flips out when he's driving and he starts going off on this big racist rant and stuff. And he barrels into these people at a construction site, pins this one guy between his truck and the construction truck, straight
Jesus.
rams him, jumps out of the truck, starts attacking this lady and choking her or some shit. This guy's off the rails. So this hitchhiker kid that's with him happens to have a hatchet in his knapsack inexplicably, or maybe that's standard operating fare for a hitchhiker in California. You gotta have that token hatchet. But he jumps out and attacks the dude. So the news gets called, right? And they send in this dude that's a sports reporter. This is the first time he's ever done an actual news story. He's a sports guy, but he's the only dude available at the time or whatever. So he goes out there and gets this gold story and he's like, hey, can I talk to you? And he's like, talk to me about what, bro? These guys super hippie now. And all right, so can we play this here? Can we get this queued up?
Take your headphones off because that's the only way you can hear it right now.
Okay.
Hopefully.
An absolute bizarre scene here in West Fresno at the corner of McKinley and Marks. A man claiming he's Jesus plows his car into a PG&E worker, pinning him against his truck because the worker was black. The man's passenger, who had a hatchet and innocent bystanders,
this is the original interview.
Comes driving down this way. He's like, you know what? I come to realize I'm Jesus Christ and I can do anything I want to. And watch this. Bam! And he smashed into this guy right there, pinned him in between that truck.
Homeless hitchhiker Kai was in the passenger seat of the Oldsmobile when this all went down. Tanya Baker and her daughter Ginger Miller Peraza were two of the first to run over and help.
My mom ran to the driver to make sure he was okay because we thought maybe it was just an accident or something, and I ran straight to the PG&E man.
This was far from an accident, and the ordeal was far from over.
The guy just went crazy and was trying to pull the guy from
Chick rocking his Packers sweatshirt.
Tries to move the car and that, and we weren't going to let him do it.
If you started driving that car around again, man, there would have been a hell of a lot of bodies around here.
He just kept saying he was Jesus Christ.
Bro,
and
no
he's
way.
gonna save all of us, and that, but we have to get. He used the N-word, meaning the black people, in that. He said we need to get them out.
Crucial clarification there,
African-American
as opposed to some
PG&E
other
worker
N-word.
was rushed to the hospital and underwent surgery for non-life-threatening injuries. And he wasn't the only person that the crazy driver went after.
When he put me in a bear hug and started beating the crap out of me, for what reason we still don't know.
And these two women are
He's
trying
a
to help
Bears
him.
fan.
He runs up and he grabs one of them, man. Like a guy that big can snap a woman's neck like a pencil stick. So I ran up behind him with a hatchet, smash, smash, smash.
The full act out there, dude.
And that's what Tanya said saved her life. The driver is described as a big man, over 6 feet tall and 300 to 400 pounds. Kai, the homeless hitchhiker,
Just roast out of his gourd.
He just finished what looked like at the time killing somebody. And if I hadn't have done that, he would have killed more people.
Wow.
As crazy as things got here, the best news is somehow, luckily, none of the injuries suffered are life-threatening, and the guy driving that car is right where he belongs, in police custody.
Not
Whoa.
too
In
West
handy with a
Fresno,
hatchet
Justin
if it
Roiland.
wasn't even
Safety
life-threatening for that, dude. I
Yeah,
gotta say
kind
that.
of a pussy hit, right?
Step your hatchet game out there, bro.
I hit somebody with a hatchet. I'm pretty sure they're going down.
But is that guy not the most token
Smash!
fucking California hippie ever? Just like, that's all you need.
Ross, you need to have smash, smash, smash as a like sound effect you can play.
I thought about it.
But when they were showing the rest of it, like the whole intro, when he calls him over before the interview starts, he's just like,
There's like 5 more minutes of the interview.
straight out of Dogtown, just got done skating, hitting some waves, and he starts going into this whole thing.
Oh,
His whole,
man.
you remember his whole preface where he's like, you know, first of all, before he gets in this story about
he's
smashing
all,
this dude with a
"You
hatchet,
matter,
he's like,
man.
you matter. Doesn't matter. Everybody's made mistakes. Everybody's got redeeming value. Everybody should be loved. Yeah.
So then he fucking, it comes out later that he gave that motherfucker that crashed into that guy some kind of laced joint. And that's why that guy crashed, like, drove his truck into somebody because he was all
jeez.
fucked up. So, like, he's actually, like, culpable for this.
Whoa.
And shit. Like,
Possibly, potentially, though, because I
possible.
thought
Allegedly.
at the
They
end-
haven't decided yet. Like this was 10 years ago.
Yeah. Well,
This is ongoing.
it's working its way through the penal system.
they, well, that all comes out, like, later. And it's kind of just hearsay. It's just this Kai dude is kind of talking about it. And other people, like, but he ended, you know, it goes through a lot of shit. He goes on fucking Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah. Yeah.
They book him on Kimmel.
They wanted to book him for this whole the lady that does the Kardashians reality show. They were trying to hook him up because he's just like a super charismatic, like fucking whacked out hippie kid. But it was pretty funny. I thought at the end they were kind of doing this thing where they said, didn't they end up testing that dude for drugs in his system? And
Yeah,
I think
probably.
it was just weed, I want to say.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so.
But
I don't know.
apparently some fucking
Allegedly.
good sticky.
I don't know.
dude.
You gotta
He's-
watch. You gotta watch this shit. But yeah, but then the fucking he goes on and he fucking the like stuff starts coming out about this guy. Like he had gotten some altercation with some other homeless guy in a field, and he like beat him down with something. So there's like this pattern of him fucking just going smash.
Yeah.
just everywhere he fucking everywhere he can get to.
Just smashing skulls, bro.
Whoa.
Yeah, but so then he ends up fucking he stays with this like old lawyer dude. in New
Spoiler
York,
alert,
right?
forthcoming. Be warned.
He fucking yeah, spoiler alert if everybody doesn't already know. He fucking he stays with this old dude. He fucking like the guy drops him off at the train station. Kai the hitchhiker is supposed to meet his pals. The pals don't show up, so he calls the old guy back. Old guy picks him up, brings him back to the crib, and he's going to crash there again that night. And something goes down that night, and Kai, the hitchhiker, kills the old man. Like, by stomping on his head, basically.
Jesus. Yeah,
like,
brutal,
brutally
vicious
murders him,
attack.
dude.
Well, he had this whole thing where he was saying apparently the guy like drugged him and raped him was the claim that he was making.
That was
but
his
again, I
defense.
think they did tests on him and didn't find anything
Yeah.
crazy in the system.
It was nonsense because it was like why he basically claimed like the first night he was there, the guy drugged and raped him, and then it's like, okay, so why did you go back the next night then if this guy drugged and raped you? And he was like this 73-year-old man who was like
Yeah.
probably couldn't even fucking get it up anymore.
Claimed he
let
went full
alone
Cosby on him,
fucking
you know?
like hold him down, and I don't know, like
Jesus.
it was but it was basically pretty proven. It even seemed to be watching. It's like, yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
This guy didn't rape you.
We seemed to be a pretty loose cannon, you know, like all
Yeah.
kinds of fucked up aggression issues, and he was a kid and shit, and like flipped out and stuff. And then they interviewed his mom. all that material.
Yeah.
We were saying like, oh, my mom used to lock me in my bedroom for days at a time or whatever, and just fuck dudes out in the living room.
Oh.
So that was the whole thing. And then they interview his mom. He's Canadian,
Loved his
as
mom,
is
by the
she.
way.
So she, she's like this sweet lady, just going, "Oh, geez, I'm so sorry. I don't know."
She goes,
Just Carbon's mom.
she's like, she was saying like, I used to have to lock him in the room at night because he would get up in the middle of the night and get into a bunch of stuff. So I had to lock him in there for his own safety.
Yeah, which
And
I
she's
meth
like,
checked out.
And she's like, I only had to do that for like 6 months or something. And like, so like, it's like, who is telling the truth here? But it did kind of seem like this kid has a lot of problems.
Seemed like he's pretty off
exaggerating.
the rails, man. When they brought him to Kimmel and stuff, like he was just taking pisses on everything, like right outside the studio, just like whipping it out, taking a piss on the building in front of people, broad daylight.
Which, to be fair, was hilarious.
Yeah, indeed. It was well played. It's good material. He pissed on a one of the Walk of Fame stars in Hollywood. Which one it was?
You haven't
I
lived
can't
until you've done
remember.
that, though.
That's true.
Let's
I
be
know.
real.
Some kind of Creedence Clearwater star. It's like, fuck you, Creedence.
Let's not bring Credence into
Yeah,
this.
dude.
We just watched a Credence documentary too. So.
Oh, nice. But they brought him to like this really nice hotel and put him up, you know. And there was like a mini bar in their room with big ass bottles. So I guess he grabs this bottle of Jack and just starts chugging. Gets totally shit faced. There's like a cobblestone floor in this really nice hotel. He goes down and just starts skateboarding through stuff and just causing a ruckus. Yeah, that kid's a loose cannon for sure.
They kicked him out for doing that. They kicked out him and the whole production team for skateboarding through the lobby of this like 5-star hotel. These guys are like, we're never going to be able to make a reality show with this fucking guy.
It was very much akin. I think we told this story one other time, but we went to see Rob Zombie back in the day and did some kind of hotels.com and get this amazing deal on this super nice hotel in Hollywood. So we're like straight out of college, just all fucking, you know, metal headed up, getting ready to see a zombie show, all shit faced and stoned in there.
Hollywood?
Or Chicago, not.
Oh, I was like, when
no.
did you go to Hollywood to see Zombie?
You know, I got stories for days,
That would
bro.
be huge.
It was a solo mission. I threw it down. So yeah, real tale there, but no. But it was like all these business guys in there, and there was some really classy convention. We're just running around in Rob Zombie t-shirts. Just
I
fucking
remember that. I remember
stoned
that.
out of our gourds.
That's
Shit faced.
That's
like
when we were
3
in the
afternoon.
sauna with that guy that was wearing that banana hammock.
Yes.
And I had this. I came up with this whole fucking thing about his name was Dirk something, and he was the keynote speaker, and I had all this material about that.
Indeed. Really out of place, like a sore thumb. It was real Kai in that hotel situation for us, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know if we were that fucked up.
Just taking pisses.
That was
on the
at
bar and stuff.
McCormick Place, though. McCormick
Yeah,
Center
yeah.
or whatever. Yeah. You ever been out there, Chicago?
Oh yeah, Chicago a couple times.
You've been to
Not for a
McCormick?
convention though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the big convention center there. I've been there a bunch of times. Yeah, man, you got to watch fucking Kai, the Hatchet Wielding Hitchhiker documentary, because it is fucking epic, man.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's so good.
I did watch CyberPunk Edge Runners over the week. That's really interesting. That's kind of based on a video game,
Okay.
but it takes place in like a cyberpunk, cyberpunk type universe where everyone's modding their bodies, like chopping off limbs to get like crazy arm guns and stuff.
Is
It's
it like a live action thing or animated? Or what is
it's
it?
anime.
Okay.
Yeah, if you couldn't tell from the description,
Right.
but pretty well done.
Nice.
Yeah.
This fucking cognac's amazing. Shout out to E40,
E40
and
once again.
Shane for bringing it in. God damn.
Yeah.
Drinking that E40 right now.
It's great with that ginger.
It really is.
We are long overdue a sponsorship from E40 here. E40 talking you up like a motherfucker, dude. Blowing up Mount Westmore on Twitter on your behalf, son. Can we get a couple bucks here? Can we get a fucking sponsorship down
Hell
there?
no.
Dude, speaking of things made after video games, which is always sketchy as balls, right? The long laundry list of terrible Resident Evil style movies.
Max Payne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wahlberg.
I'm
in
sorry.
Max
I
Payne,
just
if I'm- ugh.
found that DVD. Threw it away.
Inappropriate, yeah. But The Last of Us.
Yeah, it
Have
just
you
came
seen
out.
that?
I haven't watched
on
it yet.
HBO? Okay.
Yeah, I know it's out.
I was real hesitant about it, dude. I'm super leery anything that's made after a video game.
Sure.
Like, it universally stinks. You know, it's the equivalent of a Stephen King movie being made
There's
after
been a couple
the book.
good ones recently.
It was
but we'll talk more
choice,
about
though,
that.
dude.
They're
Yeah.
better now. People
Yeah.
love The Witcher.
Yeah.
That's a video game. Well, that's a book first. and
Well, there's
then
The
video game.
Witcher. There's Arcane. There was that Cyberpunk thing.
Yeah.
Castlevania was huge.
I
But
tried watching it,
don't
man.
think I
I
caught
couldn't
that,
get into
yeah.
it.
The Last of Us maybe takes to the next level, though. I'm excited to
That's
watch
like,
Did you
I mean, that's
see
an
it? Have you
HBO
caught it?
show.
Yeah, it is HBO.
Yeah,
it's
so-
epic. It's got the main Hispanic dude from Narcos who's a
Pedro
choice
Pascal.
actor.
Yeah.
He's pretty
From
epic
Game
in
of
there.
Thrones.
Also has the other chick from
From Game of Thrones.
fuck,
They're both from
he
Game of
was
Thrones,
the
yeah. He was the
Dornish, the fucking spear guy that took on the mountain. I forgot all about that. Yeah, and then it's got the
that's what blew him up.
the young chick, like that 10-year-old at the time that ran that one territory, but
Whatever Leanna Mormont.
yeah, exactly.
All right.
But it's good
Plays
though,
the
man.
little girl.
Super well acted. The only thing, like, the first 20 minutes, I'm kind of going, fuck, man. Like, and to a degree it is, but it's a little bit of like a Walking Throne or a Walking Dead. Yeah, Walking Thrones.
Well, I
Walking
mean, it's all
Dead
fucking.
kind of feel, but
it's all fucking.
post-apocalyptic, some pseudo-zombie shit going on. But it was choice though, man. It's definitely worth a watch. I watched the first two, burned right through. And what do you think of it, man?
Haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you haven't?
No, I played the game, like the very first game.
Okay.
Yeah,
and the opening.
we played the game too.
Oh yeah, man, that opening sequence where the kid dies hits you so hard.
Yeah,
and I've heard they captured it perfectly with the TV show.
Yeah, I was gonna
so.
say I'm always curious like how closely they follow the story structure of the game. But yeah, that was the first episode for sure.
Tearjerker.
They got me right here. Not so much here. Not so much here, but right here. Right there in the heart. Yeah, I felt it.
Right in the feels.
Definitely worth a watch. Though. It was pretty huge.
Yeah, it's been on the old short list here. I was trying to think of what else I watched. I've been watching actually quite a bit of stuff lately. Seems like I did catch that Creedence. There's a new Creedence Clearwater Revival documentary / concert.
I didn't watch it, but I said
narrated
it's a
by
Netflix
Jeff Bridges.
thing, right?
Probably it's
Okay.
either that or HBO, but it was all right. Got a new respect for that band. That's like my dad's favorite band. I was kind of shit on them.
Right.
They got fucking. I get it. Proud Mary keeps on pointing. I fucking get it. But like, yeah, it was interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Then I kept asking to be like, Siri, play Proud Mary, and it kept playing the Tina Turner version. Proud Mary, keep on burning.
Ooh, in crazy TV show news, I think it was last week or maybe the week before, but Justin Roiland of Rick and Morty fame.
Yes, thanks for bringing that up. I know, right?
What happened?
So
You haven't heard this shit?
no.
You know Rick and Morty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the co-creator of that is Justin Roiland. And
Yeah.
he does the voices.
Both
for
voices.
Rick and Morty and a bunch of like the other
Yeah.
characters
Yeah.
that come and go. And he's been doing this for like 5-6 seasons now. He's
Yeah.
got like 2
6
video
seasons.
games.
Yep.
And it's come out that like he assaulted his girlfriend in 2020, held her against her will at his house, I guess. Beat
Wow.
her, all this stuff. So now he's
being
in
charged with like wrongful imprisonment,
Yeah.
abuse or whatever, domestic violence and shit. They dropped him from the show.
Yeah, which is
Really?
Huge. Because that show was
That show is
huge.
massive.
That's Adult
fucking
Swim's like
popular,
biggest
yeah.
money
Yep.
maker, man.
That's kind of
their-
like South Park 2.0 popularity
That's
wise.
their,
It might be bigger than South Park, really.
Huge.
No, right now,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jesus. So does it sound legit? Like, are they?
he was also like DMing like 16-year-olds and shit, and being like, "You should get Rick and Morty tattooed on your tits and show me," and like
Oh, that's
all this
probably not
fucking
gonna go
weird
over too
shit has
well,
all
yeah.
come out.
Things
and
I
like,
would say.
and she's like,
But to 18 and older. Yeah.
this girl's like, I was clearly 16 and had braces and shit, and like,
That's pedo, yeah.
he was saying shit. I guess
too bad.
on like other podcasts, he was saying some weird shit about like he was one of those like, like adolescence isn't real. Like as soon as you're able to, whatever. As soon as you have your period, you're. He was making shit.
The hills you don't want to die
That's a
on.
tough sale,
he was,
Jim. That's a
he
tough
was
sell.
making those kind of like I could be getting all kinds of pussy if they're if, like all this.
Well, I
Like,
can fuck my fans.
If it wasn't for this pesky age of consent thing, I'd be.
Hey, we'd have to
man.
look it up. I'm not.
Knee deep.
I forget exactly what he said, but
Yeah.
it was that kind of implication.
no.
Like,
Damn, dude.
yeah, it's pretty wild.
The arguments you don't want to make.
Yeah. And I texted my buddy Shaner, who was a big Rick and Morty fan. I was like, it's a tough day to be a Rick and Morty fan,
Oh
dude.
man, I'm actually a pretty big fan of that show.
It's a great
too.
show. It's
What
hilarious.
are,
man.
are you all
Awesome.
caught up on it? Did you see
Yeah.
the most? What was your thoughts on the last
I
season?
haven't caught the new
I really
season
enjoyed
6.
it, man.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah. No, there were some great episodes. Just very consistent in quality. I'm loving it. I mean, the worst season I think maybe they had was the 4th season, and that wasn't even that bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, it was still good.
I thought there was a little bit of fall off, and part of like the glory of that show is that it does get really weird and like really ethereal and out there, and some real fucked up premises. But I don't know, they took some turns this season where I was kind of just like, it's almost like more weird than funny, and it definitely had some good episodes.
It did have
for
some
sure.
weird
I'm not
stuff.
hating on it.
I
but
loved the Space Beth thing where she's fucking her clone.
yeah,
I thought that was hilarious.
that was a pretty classic episode.
Yeah.
Dude.
It kind of connected back to the debate we had on the show a couple of times ago, where like, would you have sex with yourself from another dimension? You know what I mean?
I don't remember that, but that sounds about right.
Yeah.
No, that was a huge news. They put out that statement on their Twitter or whatever, like Adult Swim did. And they just like
real
dropped
short
that
one too.
It was like Adult Swim has ended its relationship with Justin Roiland.
So what does that mean?
Season
for the
7
show,
is still
dude?
going forward. They're replacing him as the voices.
Really?
Yeah, I know. It's like,
Which I've never thought he's a great
Wow.
voice actor.
no, but I mean,
I mean, he's
still
fun.
like,
But
he's
it's
like
also kind of
comedian doing a
ingrained.
voice.
it's his, but
It's
like
his
his
show, you know, and I'm sure they've got writers, but like I would imagine he's pretty closely involved.
Yeah,
with
it's him and the other guy, and like,
Is it
how does that
Dan
other guy?
Harmon?
Yeah,
Is
how
that
does
the
he
other
fucking
guy's
feel
name?
about it? You know, like he's got to be like, fuck, you know, like
Maybe. I always figured Dan Harmon's the other guy.
Yeah.
Was kind of the brains of the show.
I think so. Yeah,
Just from watching Justin Roiland talk in interviews and stuff, he seems real out there. He seems real spacey. Like, I think maybe he stumbled into success was the vibe I was getting. I hate to say that though.
Yeah, he's
You know
got
what I mean?
other
like he's
fucking
done other
deals
things.
with like HBO or something or
Didn't they,
Showtime.
I was
going
gonna
to
say, didn't Justin Roiland? I thought
Yeah.
just started a new animated
does. He
show
has,
like on Hulu
Solar
or some shit?
Opposites.
Well, there were
Yes, that's
Solar
it, yeah.
Opposites, but I thought
there's
there was
another
a
one too.
second
He's
one
got
that
some
they
kind of
just
development
did.
deal where he was like making shows.
Probably not anymore.
That Australian
Yeah.
show, Koala something or other. It's like
he's
brain
doing
branding. I thought
Squanch
he was.
Games too, which is his game development studio.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just like, that's the thing. Like, he does all this voice work, but he can't really commit to anything, right? If you're doing 5 different shows and projects, it's
Right.
like, so if they lose him, they're losing a fifth of what Justin Roiland has to offer, I figure. And Dan Harmon's like, from what I can see, just going all in on Rick and Morty.
Right.
And then he does like a live show, but that's not scripted. That's not storyboarded or nothing. So it seems like Dan's the one putting all the actual work.
It probably is. Yeah, it's pretty crazy though.
At least I hope so. Because Rick and Morty, I love. I want to keep being.
I
like
think
a
they were
big
only
hit.
trying to do 7 or 10 seasons or something like that too. So like that's what I thought they had said at the beginning of doing that show or something like that. So.
Once you get out past
The
like,
fucking Rick and
6,
Morty
7
fans are-
episodes, it's seasons
Yeah,
rather. Like,
yeah.
it gets pretty tough to keep that shit on the rails, you know. Start getting into Poochie territory at that point. Beating the hell out of those dead
It is
stores.
crazy. That's your main voice actor, the 2 main characters. So like, whoo, that's a tough one to get over.
Yeah.
It's a big blow.
Oh man, imagine if they went back and redubbed the old episodes with a new voice actor.
Oh no.
Voice. That'd be a real slap
Nowadays,
in the
man,
face, right?
yeah, it's
dude.
not that big of a stretch.
like on the remasters and DVDs when they start selling the fucking DVDs or something later. If that's probably not even a thing anymore, but
They've done that. They've I can't think of a specific example, but they're taking all kinds of shit and like editing out different episodes and cutting episodes all together for all sorts of different series that are like marginally offensive and stuff. It's fucking wild.
Yeah, they took out Bill Cosby from the Cosby Show. Swapped him
Theo
out.
for
They
days,
whitewashed him with like a white dude.
Do you remember I don't think we ever talked about this. Do you remember all the old fucked up Disney shit that was like a thing for a while?
Yeah.
Where all that was getting spliced in for
like the Fox and the Hound.
well,
No, I'm joking.
That was like a horse of a different color altogether. But like the Little Mermaid had one
that's-
where
that's
the
a big
creature
one I
got the
remember.
boner, and there was like the there was
The
like the
dicks
penis
in
on the
the
castle
castle.
of the
And the
there was a
VHS
bunch of
cassette.
that shit.
Yeah. There was one in like The Lion King that was like, this one is stupid. I didn't think it, but because I tried to find it, but it was like,
I found
it was some
yep.
dumb shit where like when he lays down, the dust that puffs up
Yep.
like says like
Spells
sex in it or
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, kind of. That one might just be.
you really got to get in there. It was a real
I'm not.
deep cut.
I don't think that one is legit. I think that's just a coincidence.
It was a masterful
you know?
job done from that, you know.
Yeah,
some serious Easter egg shit.
There was
What
there
other
was some
sex
other
Easter
ones too,
eggs are
though.
in Disney shows that we just haven't found yet?
There was the Aladdin one where he's backing up from the tiger, and he's like, "Oh, he's saying all these things to keep the tiger calm."
Well, the tiger blows him, right?
Yeah.
What?
And that remains in the episode inexplicably, or in the cut of the movie.
Him and
but
the
he
tiger
says,
fuck. It's pretty hot. You don't remember that in Aladdin? That was the theatrical cut.
the extended edition. But he goes, "Oh, good teenagers take off their clothes."
Yes.
Says, whispers it. Like,
Yeah.
It's really hard to catch
Whoa,
too. Yeah.
creepy.
It's weird.
It's the voice of Justin Roiland.
Justin Roiland was working for Disney for a while, if you didn't know.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez, Rick, all the good teenagers.
I watched some other Justin Roiland cartoon. He did this like short that came out this a couple years ago, and it was like going around Facebook, and they're like, "Oh, it's hilarious." I watched, and I was like, "This is the worst thing I've ever seen." I can't even tell you what it even was about or anything. It was just annoying and bad. He was like doing the Morty voice. And it was just like, oh my God, I watched like 5 and left a comment. I was like, that was fucking terrible. And like a bunch of people like were like liking my comment. Like, yeah, that was bad.
Dude, that's the thing about him. Like, he has a couple voices he does, and that's it. He's got the Rick voice, the Morty voice, and then kind of the reoccurring side character voice. I've noticed this, right?
Yeah.
So if you play High on Life, like that game he's done, like the gun you start off with, because the guns have personalities and talk to you as you're playing because they're like aliens, right? Is just Morty's voice. Straight up Morty's voice.
Yeah.
No different inflections, right? He does the Rick voice, obviously Rick and Morty, and then Solar Opposites. And then he's got like a third voice, again, that just kind of pops in every now and then. Like he brings it out as like his third distinguishing voice for like bits and like improv portions of the shows. Right. So it's like, okay, you got like these 3 voices you do, man, but that's it. You don't have like a dynamic range here. You're not like Mark Hamill behind the mic really working it. So I really don't think they're going to have a hard time replacing him, at least for the voice stuff.
Do you think that's a skill that you're born with, or is that something like you can acquire and get better at? Like, obviously you can hone everything to a degree, but like, can you really figure out how to be like a dominant voice actor and have a bunch of different choice of voice characters?
I'll lean on Ross for this. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's like anything. It's both. It's the same thing as singing. It's like it's a skill, so you can definitely learn it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like anything else. So where certain people are born with talents, and probably when you're a kid, you just start doing voices and imitating. You're just imitating other voices. So like, it's just like it's more about listening. So it's like just hearing what they're doing and then being able to repeat it, and that's really what like doing voice acting and shit's about. But then if you're trying to come up with like your own characters, then you're going to be, that's kind of a thing too. Now that's acting, and now you got to make decisions of what the character is and that kind of thing. But you could absolutely like you could get better at doing voices like with training and shit.
But imagine it certainly helps for those born with those dulcet, silky tones naturally.
Yes, face for radio. That's what people tell me I have.
Yeah, doing voices is fun. Like I can imitate a lot of voices pretty easily. Like
you got a pretty spot on impression game there, son.
Yeah, thank you.
Can't lie.
And actually, Ross, your voice has changed over the last gotta be 4 or 5 years. I've noticed. Like
you think so?
Yeah, for real. I didn't notice it until I randomly clicked on one of your audiobook narrations.
Oh, but I'm doing
back in the day.
I'm doing voices on that kind of too, though. So that's like almost like a different style of me, like trying to do a specific.
It sounded pretty natural. It sounded
tone,
natural. I was impressed. I'm like, this is Ross, but doesn't sound like Ross.
Yeah, Ross got his first cube the other day. The balls are really starting to drop.
It's my birthday tomorrow, so I've finally become a man.
Finally turning 37. How old are you?
39, bro.
39.
Jeez,
okay.
I know.
I thought I was maybe shooting too high there, to be honest. 39, huh? Looking good.
Thank you.
You get no preemptive happy birthday, by the way. You wait for it like everybody else.
We should have done the podcast tomorrow.
Birthday podcast. We could have sang you a song and everything.
You still can, fuckers.
Yeah, I'm all
Get to it.
Yeah.
It's just doing and like I did probably the best impression I ever did that I don't dare ever try was the Dan Aykroyd I did on a whim, and even I was like, oh my God.
I'm crushing it.
It was
What
like
Dan Aykroyd impression?
it was like a Ghostbusters kind of thing, and I did it. And like, speaking of fucking Shaner again, I think it was Shaner and a couple other buddies that were there that did it, and we all just kind of looked at each other, and even I was like, "Holy shit, that sounded exactly like him."
the finest impression that I can ever remember from anyone, and it happened to be from you, was at Burger Crest during lunch one time. This motherfucker broke out the most perfect spot-on Eddie Murphy Nutty Professor of all the random things. I don't remember how it came up.
Those movies are coming out. I never even saw those movies.
I don't even know what to be. Oh yeah. Oh, you saw the movie. He's like, ooh, all the fats contained in the skin. That was the worst rendition ever, but dude, it was so spot on. This motherfucker channeled Eddie Murphy for those 5 or 10 seconds, and it was just the most glorious thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
They've got that on Netflix now, and that's all I can think about every time I scroll through and see that on there is fucking you breaking out that Nutty Professor voice.
It's weird because sometimes like I can like, that's what I'm saying is like, if you put me on the spot, like if you ask me to do it right now, I can't do it or it wouldn't be good. It's like when it just like, if I just do it like in conversation, like to be funny and do a thing, like sometimes it'll be like really good. But if like right now you're like, do Nutty Professor, like I have no idea.
Bullshit, and you were in front of the mirror for weeks at a time. Dude. You got an old school Sony dictaphone. It's going, all the fats
going over
all the fats in the all the fats in the skin. Really facial.
Yeah.
And it was well worth it, to be clear.
What other
Time
like,
well spent.
pieces of media can we discuss? We had Justin Roiland news.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
So I don't know if you've caught, and I know you haven't. So because you're filling in here, we didn't get a chance to like let you know what we're watching and listening to and shit. But there's the new record by one of my favorite bands, Katatonia.
Yes, I did.
So that's fucking, I love it. It's fucking great. I think it's every record that they've done is great, but man, they keep putting out gold, I think.
All right. So my thing on it, I only went one spin through it. I was walking the dog, so I didn't like sit down and do a deep dive. It was a time crunch type day. And it was choice. I loved it. Let me say that first. But I wasn't necessarily blown away by it. Like I didn't think it was their best shit, dude. It was no Great Cold Distance by any means. Like
that's an old one though.
There weren't a ton of like grab me songs. There were a couple of songs when like I grabbed the phone out of the pocket. I'm like, oh, what is this? But like the last two tunes I thought were really choice. What was the
I thought that first track was huge.
First track was choice.
Loving it.
Author was a pretty cool tune as I remember. And then the last two were bangers, man. That No Beacon for Illumination or whatever.
I don't know the names of any of those songs, honestly.
Second to last tune, that was my go-to jam on that one. And then the very last song I thought was super choice too. And the whole thing was killer, don't get me wrong. Definitely not shitting on it, but it was like, pretty standard Katatonia.
Yeah,
really,
Katatonia's got their thing. They kind of
dude.
do their fucking thing, but I think it's fucking awesome. I just was fucking, it kind of reminds me of that. I was driving. I went and picked up a couple of guitars from I built a couple more guitars I was going to show you as I went and picked them up from the guy who does the finishing on them. And I'm driving back, and there's those huge cemeteries downtown Grand Rapids. And I was driving back, and it's all like fresh snow. And there was like literally 1,000 fucking ravens in the trees.
Whoa.
And they were all flocking out, and it was like dusk because it was like 5:30, so the sun's like low.
Some Edgar Allan Poe
That's
shit
what I
right
said.
there,
It's Edgar Allan Poe shit, but it also reminded me of all the Katatonia shit.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get my fucking phone out in time. But I was like, oh my God, this is so surreal. Like fucking looking around, these fucking ravens just like flocking.
Dude, that's wild.
They're in the trees, like all the trees are just like, it was like
in a
out of
graveyard.
movie.
That's a music video.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, fuck. I'm like, can't get my phone out. I'm like trying to fucking. Yeah, I should have stopped. I should have just swung out because traffic. There was a lot of traffic, and I just I bitched out. I didn't, but I should have. It was fucking sweet. Did you watch? It also reminds me too of we watched Eyes, some pale blue eye or some shit like that. It was it's Christian Bale.
Oh, this is like the horror movie on Netflix, right?
Yeah, it's not really a horror movie. It's like
Edgar Allan Poe, right?
Yeah, he meets up with the the real quote unquote Edgar Allan Poe at the time.
Is he a detective in this?
Yes.
It's like a murder thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Christian Bale's a detective.
That's so bizarre to me because I just also was watching Wednesday And it's kind of the same deal where they take a popular character
and make him a detective
and turn it into like a detective thing. It's like,
right. Christian Bale plays a guy who dresses up in a bat suit at night, and he goes and looks for a killer. It's pretty
cool.
Good.
It's Christian Bale trying to track down the guy that assaulted multiple cinematographers. Christian Bale tracking Christian Bale.
But it's got the guy that plays Edgar Allan Poe. I don't know who this kid is, but he's in that movie. Did you guys ever see that movie called The Ballad of Buster Scruggs or whatever?
Nah.
It's in my queue forever.
It's fucking Coen Brothers.
Right?
It's phenomenal.
Yeah,
phenomenal.
It's supposed to be chose.
And he plays this kid plays this fucking armless and legless, like singing carnival sideshow kid.
Okay.
And like watching that, like I was like, this is some of the best acting I've ever seen.
Wow.
It was Alec Baldwin-esque acting. It's the finest acting I've ever seen. And
nice.
fucking so anyway, I was like, this guy's fucking amazing. He plays Edgar Allan Poe, and he's like this super skinny, like dark-haired, like sunken eyes, like. It's Edgar Allan Poe. I mean, you ever seen a picture of Edgar Allan Poe?
Real emo looking.
Yeah, he's the original goth, dude. I mean, he invented goth. like, for real,
Speaking of Alec Baldwin,
yes,
did you hear
the
Alec Baldwin
saying
news?
that made me remember that.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
man.
another excellent piece of news,
They
right?
are trying to fucking
Pressing
throw
charges.
him in. Yeah, pressing charges.
I think that's crazy, man.
twofold, because he was the producer of the flick and the dude who pulled the trigger.
Oh, he was the producer.
So I think
okay.
like there are multiple angles they're looking to get after him at, right?
And they also charge, because right when I heard that, I was like, you know what? I got huge opinions on this, but I was like, they need to be charging the
master
armor.
of arms. Yeah, the armor, whatever.
I kind of like, so whatever. Yeah, yes, you can easily make an argument that you can say anybody who has a weapon should check the weapon before they're fucking with it. I get that,
Right.
okay? I've gone through the safety shit, and I have a CPL and all that shit.
Yeah.
I understand. That said, you're an actor who's been fucking around with guns on sets for 50 years.
It's a movie set.
It's a movie set. There should not be live rounds even on that set at all, ever. So you start there. There's a chain of command. There's a prop master. There's an armorer or weapons master.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's two people who both jobs it is to make sure that the props the actor's using are correct. And usually the assistant director also checks. So you have a 3-person chain of command. You're a fucking actor who's been doing this shit forever. Somebody just hands you a prop.
Yeah.
You're fucking around, you're rehearsing. You're out there for 12 hours a day fucking rehearsing these scenes, doing this shit. You're in the middle of nowhere. You're tired, whatever. You're fucking around. You have no reason to believe that this fucking weapon is filled with live rounds.
It's a goddamn weapon on a movie set. Like the
It's
whole
ridiculous.
intent of the thing being on there, and there's, to your point, all the same shit, right? Grew up in fucking Fruitport, hillbilly country. You learn the gun safety stuff. You always act like a gun's live, et cetera, et cetera. Having said all that, it's a movie set, man. Like, it's all fucking props and stuff.
Yeah.
The inexplicable error and how that could have fucking happened, is beyond me. But to charge that dude, and I'm sure this is probably not a popular opinion, but like, put yourself in that situation.
That's what I'm
right?
saying.
Like, you're an actor.
That's what I'm
you're
saying.
You're given a gun. You're handed a gun.
Yeah.
And like, oh my God, the fucking thing's got a live round in it. Why? How?
It is crazy
What?
to me that one, like you were saying, Ross, why are there bullets on a movie set? But two, why was there a gun on a movie set?
Why are they even using real guns? And they do because it's easier.
Cheaper.
It's
and that is kind of crazy,
and
right?
they do use live guns because they put those dead rounds in them, so you get the actual, the sound and the kickback of the gun. So I think they're universally real guns on a movie set. It's not just like
that's changing now too. After this, all these fucking actors are like, we're never using anything but rubber guns ever again.
Yeah,
which seems like that should have been a thing a long fucking time ago. Like, we can make fake guns that fucking look real,
that blow smoke, whatever. Right. Yeah, that can't be fired.
Yeah,
right.
But
it's fucked. His wife's catching a bunch of heat, as you would expect. Not necessarily heat, but like the paparazzi are chasing him down and shit, and trying to get interviews.
Well,
and she's got like this fake accent
Oh, I haven't
Did you
caught
catch
that.
any of
No,
that, dude?
I
Like,
haven't seen that.
she's like throwing in this fake Spanish accent, and apparently she was born in Boston or some shit.
Oh, shit.
But like her parents were born in Spain,
Right.
So she's like this whole how do you say cucumber? And it's all this fucked up shit, dude.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know, man. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I'm glad you kind of share that opinion a little bit with me because it's like everybody like on the right, quote unquote, is like using this, you know, because Alec Baldwin's a fucking hardcore leftist and he's kind of been a prick about it.
Yeah.
And so they're using this as a whole thing like, oh, this fucking elitist asshole doesn't know how to fucking fire a weapon. And I'm just like, fucking bullshit. This would have happened to anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody in that situation, dude.
It's kind
Like,
of an argument for gun control.
yeah. Yeah,
Right?
right? Yeah.
It's like, well, if there weren't guns around, I wouldn't have shot somebody.
I don't really think the whole like this guy is a liberal left guy that doesn't know how to use a gun thing applies.
Me
Again,
either. It's like this is a
it's a
random
movie set, man. This
fucking-
is such a different world than real life. Like
Yeah.
it's, I don't know. It's not really on that guy. Like, it's super unfortunate. It's sad as fuck. Obviously, like you feel for the woman.
And
that
now
got
I'm
killed,
like,
but
is
Jesus
this
Christ,
worth?
man.
His career's already destroyed. Is it worth like now we're gonna destroy two more people's lives? Like he was friends with this person. He didn't fucking mean to do this.
Yeah.
Like
Do you think his
know-
career's ended though? I can't imagine.
100%. He will never act again. Even if he could get hired, he probably has no like. As an artist, I would never like. It would be like I can't.
My acting killed somebody.
Seriously, that's the joke. You and I were making this joke
yeah.
before. Fucking.
That's right.
My acting got somebody killed.
My acting got my brother killed.
But like, yeah. But it's just like I don't know, man. I feel like this whole thing was just a tragedy, and it's not worth ruining other people's lives over.
Yeah.
That's my opinion on it, and it's like
Sure.
putting him and this fucking if anybody, the armorer. To me, is responsible.
That was my assumption.
So if
actually,
you want to
I just
fucking
figured
charge
that's
him,
how I was going.
and the charge is involuntary manslaughter.
Yeah.
On both of them, so it's like at least it's involuntary, but still, it's like we're gonna, like this person, she's not coming back. It's not bringing anybody back. Like to me, it doesn't seem to be justice. To me, this doesn't like feel like justice. I don't feel like that's my opinion. A lot of people have a different opinion about that. But.
Apparently, the other thing that came out is that the lady that was in charge of the whole armory thing, like her father is some huge legacy armor guy in the movie industry, and she kind of got like grandfathered in. So, which isn't to say like can't speak on her qualifications or whatever, but it was like some kind of fucked up nepotism thing. She got this shit the bed that way, which that math seems to kind of check out.
It really does.
Unfortunately.
I mean, dude, you got one job, literally.
Yeah.
You got one job, dude. Like you handle
the
the
gun,
weapons,
bro.
dude.
Not that hard.
It should not have fucking loaded rounds even in the vicinity of that movie set.
It's tragedy.
Crazy.
Should have never happened.
Crazy.
Don't know what the fuck to say about it, but
And jokes aside, Alec Baldwin's a fucking amazing actor.
Yeah.
He's amazing. Like
I
some
was
of the shit
for
I've
a
ever
news
seen,
bit.
like,
I was actively searching for terrible Alec Baldwin movies a couple weeks ago, and I was like, God damn, there aren't any. I can't
I know.
find
He's
he just
fucking
knocks
great.
it out of the park, man.
Like literally, like the joke on the not South Park, but the Team America shit is like, he's the finest actor I've ever seen. Literally, I think the finest acting I have ever seen was Alec Baldwin, and he was doing this fucking. He was playing this like he was in a stage show and he was playing some kind of gay guy, and he did this thing with a cigarette. And I was just like, it was so clutch. It was like hilarious and also like subtle and like, I don't know. Alec Baldwin's gold.
He's brilliant. Have you ever seen Glengarry, Glen Ross?
Yeah,
And
that's
it's a
like-
super
that's
small part, obviously.
Right.
The whole coffee is for closer shit.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Iconic.
Jesus Christ, it's the most epic 5 minutes you've ever seen.
Yeah.
He just knocks it out of the park.
They talk about that because that was him. All those other guys are all his heroes.
Yeah.
And so he was like, he had to go in and tell all these guys off that he was like,
Jack Lemmon was
Jack
in
Lemmon,
that? Was
Al
Walter
Pacino,
Matthau in that, or
no,
am
I don't think so.
Okay. You got Pacino.
yeah.
That's a
others.
great flick, man.
That's a play, I believe, too.
Originally a play,
and
yeah.
they did the
Turned
movie.
into a dominant movie starring Alec Baldwin for 5 minutes.
Indeed.
Alec Baldwin
flick.
in The Departed, dude. As
Yeah.
the fucking Boston, lead cop Magoo
Hunt
guy,
for
what
Red
do you call it?
October.
Yeah.
he was the fucking first guy to play
Alec
Jack
Baldwin
Ryan,
got
I think.
busted. Yeah, I
People
forgot that was the
forget
original
that's Jack Ryan
Ryan
stuff, yeah.
Oh, that was Jack Ryan? That
Yeah,
was
Jack Ryan goes
Oh,
way
wow.
back. It's fucking Harrison Ford played Jack Ryan, like Clear and Present Danger.
Which begs the question, why did they not just get Alec Baldwin for the subsequent roles of Jack Ryan?
Indeed. Or
Just
Harrison
throw it
Ford,
down,
for that
man.
matter.
That's so goofy. I never thought of those movies as being connected.
Yeah.
It's not like
he's
James
been-
Bond, where
He's
it's
been
like,
writing
oh, yeah.
that Jack Ryan character for years and years and years. I'm not like a big Tom Clancy fan, but yeah. That's what it is, right? Tom Clancy?
I believe so, yeah. Beating the hell out of that Jack Ryan dead horse. If it ain't broke, no fix it.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I've never read any Tom Clancy, I must admit. But those are good movies, man. Hunt for Red October is a fucking great movie.
Tom Clancy made some badass video games or shit that was based on his
Yeah,
books.
yeah,
Remember Rainbow
yeah.
Six
Yeah,
and a handful
yeah.
of those other ones? Pretty
Yeah.
fucking fun back in the
Those
day.
are still going, man. There's like Rainbow Six Siege is one of the biggest multiplayer games out right
Rainbow
now.
Six Six.
You would think so.
Run
Dude,
it
Rainbow
back,
Six
baby.
Siege has been around for like 7 years now.
Yeah.
And they're still like milking that for content. It's
Indeed.
crazy.
That was fun shit, dude. That was one of the original, like, don't go around and shoot them up. It was more like sniper, stealthy,
Yeah.
CIA, fucking slink around type shit.
It's
was
like
it
Navy
64,
SEAL
I
kind of
wanna
shit,
say?
isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Super fun game.
The big thing is like the houses and arenas you play in are all destructible.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
like imagine if you were here and like you hear somebody upstairs.
You can shoot through. Nice.
Yeah, throw like grenades at the ceiling, you know.
Nice,
Shrapnel
nice.
kills them at the top. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Damn, that's wild, dude.
Yeah.
And I never played any of that shit. My video game knowledge is lacking.
Gotta set that game system up. We gotta
Yeah.
you gotta get the 64 down here.
Oh, I'm working on
main stock
I'm working on something else. I'm working on fucking getting the they got those things that got fucking all the old games on them.
Oh, the
Those-
emulators.
yeah, I'm gonna try to get something here in the fucking pod lounge so we can fucking so basically so I can whoop your guys' ass
Just
in Mario
twitch it
Kart
up,
on a regular
fun.
basis.
I don't know about them's fighting words. So.
I mean, you know.
And go
If you-
Donkey Kong on your ass, dude. Get
I mean,
back to
if
basics.
you guys are okay with just getting to fucking beat down for like hours at a time.
Get back to
fine.
my reign of supremacy that lasted.
I'm good at
millennia
one
back in
video
the day.
game and it's Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Mario Kart and Contra.
Never
Don't
played
sell
any
yourself short,
Contra.
even.
That was a little bit before my time
Yeah,
for games.
indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to play. It's the fucking greatest game ever made. What's your favorite video game of all time?
Ooh, of all time, probably. I'd have to say, and I'm gonna sound. I got probably two choices tied for first. Is either Dead Space 2 or Fortnite.
Really?
Yeah, Fortnite's fun.
Yeah. Well, people
I've
are
heard,
obsessed
yeah.
with it.
A
That
lot
was
of
huge
haters.
thing a few years back, dude. Everybody and their brother playing.
Are there
that shit.
haters? Because I mean, it's like the biggest fucking game
Yeah,
around. I mean,
exactly.
it's a fucking huge, huge game.
It's a freebie too, right?
Yeah, it's a ton of fun.
It's like yeah.
Yeah,
Nope, never played it.
Dead Space 2
I mean, I've
is like
seen it. I know what it is, but
completely the opposite. Fortnite's kind of like bright and cartoony,
Mm-hmm.
you know, kind of action oriented. Then Dead Space 2 is just like this. Imagine the best parts of The Thing, and then what's that movie in space where it's a haunted spaceship?
Event Horizon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the best parts of The Thing and Event Horizon put
Nice.
into one
Ooh, that's yeah.
game, right?
I'll allow
And you
that.
get Dead Space,
Yeah.
and it's great. Yeah, I'm
Almost.
actually playing the remake right now of the first game.
Oh, they
And-
remastered it or whatever.
Oh,
like
which-
re-graphics and all that.
New graphics, new
Yeah.
storylines, new areas. The whole instead of like missions now, the original game all took place in the ship, but the game was broke apart into 8 missions. So in this remake, instead of breaking it apart into missions, it all takes place on like one big level.
Okay.
So you feel like you're in like this ship. You can like walk around it and go in between the mission areas and stuff. So it feels like a real lived-in space that really kind of turned upside down.
Nice.
Damn.
And it's awesome.
Event
Yeah.
Horizon was a dope ass flick, by the way.
Yeah.
Back in the day, Did some Sam Neill, little Lawrence Fishburne.
Oh,
my
yeah.
guy Larry Fishburne.
Apparently, there's a director's cut that's even more fucked up that's never seen the light of day, and they fucking have been like petitioning to release it, like fans, and like then
Really?
they think that maybe it doesn't exist anymore, like they kind of lost that cut or something. But there was like even more a bunch of fucked up shit that didn't fucking make.
Can you really lose a cut like that though? I guess that was maybe
Back
like
in the day, it was a
pre-digital
real
era.
film, dude.
Yeah,
They were like
yeah,
actually
yeah.
cutting fucking film together. And
Wow.
if it was a director's cut that never really got printed a bunch of times. And
So
shit
did they
that,
give
like,
the lowdown for it? Like, what was the big?
I don't remember.
Okay.
No, I don't know. I just heard that there was apparently a bunch of shit they shot that had to be fucking they wouldn't let them put it on
Damn,
because it
dude.
had to catch that R rating, you know.
Right.
And that movie flopped, too. It made like no money.
Yeah.
I saw it in the theater.
It was choice, but it was
a
also
choice
kind of
movie.
terrible.
Well, yeah, I mean,
the end of it
that's
got a
that
little hokey and stuff. but it
Paul
was pretty
W.
dope, dude.
Anderson or whatever, right? He made all that shit. Like he made all the like Alien vs Predators and like what's the one with fucking Mia Jovovich, the video game?
Resident Evil.
He made like all those movies and shit. I'm
yeah.
pretty sure that's kind of his whole. I think he married her too, Mia Jovovich.
Nice.
So.
Well played.
Nice. That's that guy. You always send me that GIF. Nice. The cop from South Park.
Right.
I just rewatched that episode the other day. That's a top fiver, man. It's so
Yeah,
fucking
it really
funny.
is funny.
Cartman, his dog, the bounty hunter.
Is that what that is?
Keep my highways clean, bruh. Where's your hot pass?
I'm with the dog.
Go with Christ. Yeah. Go with Christ.
I'm with the dog.
So funny.
Whatever happened to Dog the Bounty Hunter?
I thought they booted it back up a couple years back, didn't they?
I don't
might
know.
be
How do
mistaken.
you
I don't know.
reboot that? He's just this old guy now.
He's still
He's super
bounty hunting.
frail. He's got a wheelchair. You're coming with me.
She's like, no, I'm not.
Didn't Beth from that show die?
That's
His
what I
wife?
thought. Maybe, yeah, something like that
Pour
happened.
one
Yeah.
out, Beth, man.
Indeed. R.I.P. Beth. He's with the dog.
Yeah.
Brutal.
I'm with the dog. I've been pretty busy lately, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All tied up, still buttoning up things
Yeah.
on the house, I would imagine
House
at this
works,
point.
work's killing me. Fucking the house, the move, and everything. Setting up this podcast lounge.
I feel that, brother.
I know. I just feel like that. Like I'm just not informed like I used to be. You know, like I'm not
little bit
in
out of
the
the
loop. you know?
Kind of tough to have those water cooler conversations if you're lacking that knowledge for what's going on for current
I'm
events
just,
and stuff, you know.
I don't got cable anymore. I just can't fucking find out what's happening in the world. you
Right.
know? So I was just kind of hoping we could kind of,
Get a little something
Yeah.
here to educate the masses.
just see what's happening.
All right.
The Dangerville Podcast presents News of the World.
All right, I'm going to kick us off here. So, a study finds that more than 3,000 young children accidentally consumed marijuana edibles in 2021.
Yeah, I believe that.
Quote unquote accidentally.
Yeah, indeed.
Shut up, you little shit. Go to bed.
So the recent legalization of recreational cannabis across several states has obviously made it a lot more available in homes and has led to a sharp increase in the number of children mistakenly eating the edibles, believing them to be regular candy. This has also led to several hundred hospitalizations, with the majority of patients experiencing severe shortness of breath, resulting from the hysterical laughter brought on by seeing their toddlers stoned out of their gourds. It's jacked up.
Yeah, who takes their kid to the hospital when you know they're just high?
Hey, I don't know what the move is there.
I would just kind of wait that out. I'm
Just
like,
put
oh,
it on
man,
YouTube
candy.
like that. Is this
Is it
real life?
Is it child
kid
abuse if
coming
I
out?
wait that out? I mean,
Make that shit go viral, bro. It's low hanging fruit, right?
You guys remember the cops that got high and they thought they were going to die and they called 911?
Oh,
You guys remember that
vaguely,
a couple years
yeah.
ago, and then they got fired and everything. So
no way.
you can put your feet up on there. It's just like it's on wheels. So.
Yeah,
Move around a
I've
little
noticed kind of shifting.
All right, you ready for this one? Results released in girl's request for DNA evidence of Santa.
Yes.
The Rhode Island Department of Health says it was not able to definitively confirm or refute the presence of Santa in a young girl's home after she requested to have a partially eaten cookie tested for DNA to see if Santa Claus is real. The department tweeted on Monday that we all agree that something magical may be at play. That's what they said. After hearing the disappointing results, the little girl said, "Forget about the cookie. What about all this jizz?" And who was that man in the red suit? In related news, the local Catholic bishop has not provided an alibi for his whereabouts on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, it came up with no traces of Santa's DNA, but they did find trace amounts of DNA left by R. Kelly in the little girl's stocking next to her bed on Christmas morning. Yeah.
Oh, R. Kelly.
All right.
Nice.
Going with the Pope there, a new pedophile joke. I love it, dude.
Here's a new one here for you guys. So
You got something?
I do.
Okay.
San Francisco-born woman is now the world's oldest person at age 115.
Oh, shit.
Jesus.
Yeah, man. She was born, 1907?
Damn. That's wild.
And then,
115 years old?
Yep. And actually, earlier this month, the world's oldest person died. French nun Sister André, a nun, of course. She died at age 118.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Put me out of my misery at that point. If I make it past
indeed.
50, it's going to be a miracle. I don't want to go too much longer past that.
Yeah, at some point,
I don't think
you
you're making it much longer past that.
When you just stop getting older, right? Right? Physically, it must top off somewhere. The skin can't get more wrinkled. I wouldn't think.
So Minnesota Democrat argues for menstrual products in boys' bathrooms. Did you see this one?
You don't even need to write a joke about
Boss D
that.
wants no part of this one, not touching this with a 10-foot pole, wisely so on his part. State Representative Sandra Feist said, quote, "Not all students who menstruate are female." She backed up her claim with clear evidence, saying to fellow legislators, "Have you seen Lars Ulrich? That dude is constantly on the rag."
Wow. Let's leave Lars out of this.
Love me some Lars. That dude's always
Lars
bitching
did
about
nothing to
something,
you.
dude.
Provided you with hours of killer records.
I don't know, man. The countless dollars spent on Metallica and Napster tunes, still grinding my gears and chapping my ass.
Speaking of,
I mean, maybe she's got a point, right? Imagine being a dude, you're menstruating.
God damn it.
God damn, I should have had my, feminine products.
You're just bleeding
I'm
out
sorry.
of your ass because you ate Taco Bell. That's all. That's not menstruating. That's a different thing.
Pretty sure it's the same. So they're not really feminine products anymore, are they? They're just like...
It's a good point.
They're just
That's a valid
products.
point.
Well, you know that tampons were originally invented to stop nosebleeds. That's true. That's a knowledge bomb right there, gentlemen.
Damn, dude.
Yep, that's
All
real.
right.
Also
in
knowledge bomb.
boxing and shit.
So Swanson's got chronic nosebleeds. In wrestling back in the day, the kid would get his nose bumped and start gushing like a fountain, man. So he used to have to stuff tampons.
Yeah,
up
that's
there
what they're
between
actually
periods
for. And then
shit.
they're like, hey, these can go in all kinds of
That's
holes.
wild, dude. Also, I want to say somewhere in like Sweden or thereabouts, Norway, etc., there was some like crazy tax on feminine hygiene products, like some
Oh, Jesus.
super wild
Wow.
thing. So they came up with this book a couple of years ago and called it like the Feminine Hygiene How-To Book or something, and sold these books with a ton of tampons in them
as a way to
circumvent
that's
the
hilarious.
tax legislation. So well
Good
played.
for them.
It's like a pop-up book with tampons.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
All right, so speaking of fucking Democrats being idiots, god damn it. Member of Congress reads AI-generated speech on the House floor.
Wow.
Did you guys see this shit?
Oh.
When let's see, U.S. Representative Jake Auchincloss, I guess is how you'd say it, decided to deliver a speech on a bill that would create a U.S.-Israel Artificial Intelligence Center, and he opted to let AI do the talking. A brief 2-paragraph speech read by the Massachusetts Democrat was generated by the online AI chatbot ChatGPT. His staff said they believed it's the first time an AI-written speech was read in Congress. So this guy had AI write him a speech
Wow,
to show how why we should have this artificial intelligence center or something
Damn.
like that.
Whoa.
Yeah. The speech was then followed by a rousing rebuttal from Representative Morpheus, who claimed these machines have generated an army, and then reminded Congress, this is Zion and we are not afraid.
Indeed.
Little Matrix.
Little
for you.
Matrix 3 material, little Resurrections material. I love it.
That actually reminds me, guys. So eventually, there's going to be an AI movie, like a film entirely made by AI.
Oh, it's got to be.
that comes out in theaters, right? So I think the very first one should be a remake of The Matrix.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, yeah,
That'd be
yeah.
That'd be
apropos.
super meta, right?
Whatever it is going to be far superior to anything Michael Bay's ever put on film. So
You
more
could
power
even
to it, man.
you could bounce back and forth between a quote unquote a real movie made by people, and then when they're in the Matrix, that's all done by like an AI. I think that'd be kind of cool, right?
call.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Next level, I dig it.
I'm gonna call the Wachowski brothers on that.
You need to. The Wachowski sisters.
Wachowski,
Sisters.
yeah.
Oh, sorry,
both,
sorry.
yeah.
Sisters.
Wachowski siblings.
They use feminine
Siblings,
products, I'm
They
sure.
do. They do indeed.
They menstruate. All right, I got one here. Florida man wins $1 million on lottery ticket after being cut in line.
Oh,
snap, dude.
Whoa. Nice.
Damn,
nice.
Yeah,
nice.
a little bit of karma.
That's
He
pretty
earned
epic.
that one by being cut in line.
Oh, for a second, I thought you were saying the person that cut him in line got. Oh, that'd be a fucking tough pill to swallow.
That would be a
bro.
tough pill. man.
All right. Well, good for him. That works out well. All right, we're going to keep in Florida news here. Florida Representative Stubbe is out of the hospital after an accident at his home. So a U.S. congressman from Florida who was seriously injured during a tree trimming accident has been discharged from the hospital and is recovering at home. However, he is once again in critical condition after new injuries inflicted by his wife after he reminded her that there is still a certain bush that could use a little trimming.
Wow. Jesus Christ, dude.
A certain bush that could use a little trimming.
Stupid.
Let's go, material, and you know it.
All right. It's gold. All right. Ron Jeremy has been found not competent to stand trial in serial rape case.
Wow.
Ron Jeremy, the
Because
porn
he's
star.
incompetent.
Well,
Or impotent. Whatever. I bought that.
the porn star charged with sexually assaulting 21 women was found incompetent to stand trial Tuesday by a Los Angeles judge. Jeremy, age 69,
Nice.
was not present for the hearing in a mental health courthouse in Hollywood. Judge Robert S. Harrison made his ruling after reviewing a 2022 assessment from a defense-hired psychologist. He said, and I quote, "Mr. Jeremy is not competent for trial. However, the trial against his mustache will continue as planned."
Nice.
So is he, what's going on? Alzheimer's or?
Yeah, I don't know. He looks all fucked up, too. I think it's mostly probably a play for, like, not going to prison.
No?
You know, he's you know, it says in here that it was a defense hired psychologist made this fucking assessment. So yeah, he's
It's going, who am I? Where am I?
Oh, weird. My penis.
Side note, much like a 69-year-old Ron Jeremy, I've been having a real hard time keeping it up when it comes to this mic stand. I think I've
You
got the
the
issue
good mic
rectified. I
stand.
think I got the issue rectified here.
I'm working on it.
It's a complicated system of
It's
bolts
about as
and
long
nuts
as Ron
and wires.
Jeremy's too.
I think I'm back in action. All right. So School Hope's lights can finally be shut off after costly glitch. The lights at a Massachusetts high school will finally be able to be turned off by the end of next month after a computer glitch kept them on for a full year and a half straight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dads around the world cried.
Indeed.
Yeah.
We are very much aware this is costing taxpayers a significant amount of money, commented Assistant Superintendent Aaron Osborne. He also went on to say that we actually thought parents should be pretty thrilled, as this is the first time in the school's history that anything could be considered bright. And kind of butchered it, goddammit. This E40 brandy Cognac really hit me in the dome here.
That's pretty good. Is that it?
Yeah, it's butchering on that one.
Jay Leno. You seen this? You hear about this? You seen this? Has reportedly suffered broken bones in a motorcycle accident just months after the garage fire incident.
Jesus.
I know. Poor Jay. Jay Leno is reportedly recovering from a motorcycle accident last week that left him with broken bones, including a broken collarbone and broken ribs. And this just happened, of course, he just got burned really bad in his garage. So speaking to the Las Vegas Review-Journal, the comedian said, quote, "I'm okay. I'm working this weekend." I debated on doing the voice there. The statement sparked a major uproar online from concerned citizens that Mr. Leno was still able to perform. On Twitter, one user even said, "Isn't there anything that can stop this guy from telling jokes?"
He burned his face off, like, what, a couple years back?
No, it's just a couple months ago. He fucking got caught by some steam and fucking burned his ass a little bit. But I mean, he's okay from that. But yeah, the full story on that and this thing is he's riding some motorcycle that he's working on. He said he smelled gas and pulled off into what he thought was an empty parking lot, and there was one of those wires across the entrance to the parking lot that didn't have any flags or anything hanging on it, so you couldn't see it. So he fucking turns in there, it catches him in the chest, knocks him off the bike. The fucking bike goes and gets all fucked up. You know, these are like $100,000 motorcycles he's building and shit in there. So yeah, it's pretty fucked up. So
that's brutal, man.
Shout out to Leno.
Do you hear he's got a bike that has a fucking jet engine as the motor?
Yeah, let's hope it was that bike he was probably on.
Probably.
Yeah, it's on the jet engine bike.
Thing's a real widowmaker.
Hey, Kev, you seen this?
I got one more here. I feel like this has got to be the closer. I don't know if you got anything else.
Oh, I got a closer too. So go ahead.
Is this the hot dog one here?
You go ahead on that one. I got one more after that.
Sounds promising.
I'm going to rock with this one.
Yeah.
So a stolen hot dog statue is returned to West Virginia restaurant owner.
Yep.
So the statue was stolen from the Dairy Winkle in Campbell's Creek during a break shortly after a fire on January 11th. So people broke in after a fire burned this place down. It was all opened
It stole the hot dog statue.
Yeah, it stole the hot dog statue.
It's West Virginia.
Yeah. This marked the first time in history that a man has ever been sad to have his wiener jacked.
Yes. Yes.
Nice.
Oh, he muffs it with the soundboy. That wasn't. Damn it. All right. Go ahead and nix that one.
Pretty
Pretty good if I do say so
good.
myself. All right, a couple more on this one because I got to fucking
I got one on
juice this thing for everything
Go
it's
ahead.
worth here. While the wiener was undamaged, it was roughly 1/3 its usual size due to the cold temperatures it was exposed to. Out of an abundance of caution, the local health department is testing the wiener for sexually transmitted diseases, as it was found inside a dirty bun and wasn't wearing a condiment.
Oh,
Wasn't wearing a
my
condiment.
God. Oh, my
Yeah.
God. Jesus
Dad
Christ.
joke.
Next level. Next level, boys. Take a minute. Take a minute. Soak it in. That's gold, and you know it's gold.
That was,
So what's the story behind like who stole it? You know what I mean?
it.
Like, do you just put that in your basement?
I don't know.
I would. I'd put it
Guys
right
took
in
it
the
out.
fucking podcast lounge.
It's like the Frosty Boy statue.
No, they found it chilling somewhere. I don't think they actually busted the people that jacked it. But yeah,
Well, what I heard was upon learning of the recovery of the statue, the restaurant owners were initially excited, but then they were left disappointed after the Wiener Man statue that was actually returned to them was just a clay bust of Ron Jeremy.
That is so fucking weird.
Doesn't even make sense.
no, it doesn't.
That's all I
Doubling
had.
down to that Ron Jeremy material.
All right, you got more on that because I got one more.
Nope.
I got one more.
Let's hear
Big,
it.
One more,
hear it.
man. Go for it.
All right, I got a big one here. Just a second.
That's what she said.
All right. Past U.S. presidents have been asked to recheck for classified documents. Have you guys,
Oh
you
yeah,
guys following
I've
this
been
at all?
following that. Yeah.
The National Archives has asked former U.S. presidents and vice presidents to recheck their personal records for any classified documents following the news that President Joe Biden and former Vice President Mike Pence both have such documents in their possessions. So this is actually happening. This is all about all this shit, right?
Okay.
The archives sent the letter to representatives of former presidents Donald Trump, Barack Obama, George W. Bush, Bill Clinton, George H.W. Bush, and Ronald Reagan.
Jesus.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Surprisingly, guys, all of the living former presidents have complied with the request.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Indeed.
President Clinton handed over several documents, but the pages were all stuck together. George W.'s documents came back unreadable from being scribbled on in crayon. Donald Trump handed in a long correspondence with Vladimir Putin that appeared to just be a collection of love letters. And Barack Obama simply turned over a copy of his real birth certificate.
Oh. Really nailing down this presidential material here.
You are correct, sir. Yes!
Jimmy Carter also responded to the request saying, "You fucks literally forgot that I was still alive, didn't you?"
This guy's still going with presidential material.
He is not included. He's still alive. They're contacting fucking Reagan.
Oh, that's hilarious, man. My boy JC not getting the proper love, dude.
They know he done got shit.
Indeed.
All right, this has been
The Dangerville Podcast presents News of the World.
wow. That was just awful.
Inauspicious at best.
A truly terrible reading of
Bad segment.
of the news. You want to drop some knowledge?
Ooh.
Been a while since we've done this.
Indeed.
It's gonna be a rough time.
Continuing with the theme of education right on the heels of that glorious news segment.
Knowledge bombs.
All right, let's do some knowledge bombs, boys. Let's see if we can fucking out-knowledge each other here a little bit, all right?
All right.
I'll start. The hashtag symbol is technically called an octothorpe.
Whoa.
Soak it in a little bit.
Damn.
The octo prefix refers to the 8 points on the symbol, and the thorpe, or thorpe, I guess, thorpe, remains a mystery. It says. One theory claims that it comes from the Old English word for village, based on the idea that the symbol looks like a village surrounded by 8 fields. That seems like bullshit.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, it sounds like an octopus. Octothron?
Yeah, octothorpe or something like
Octothorpe.
that. Yeah, so octo, so it's the 8 things of the hashtag.
It's
is
either that
what
or
I
a
know.
Marvel villain.
Knowledge bomb.
All right. My next one here. I'm not sure how you say the name of this animal, but it's called Antichinus. Antichinus males copulate themselves to death.
Oh, yeah, we all knew that.
Sounds about
they're-
right. I've
they're
been close a
tiny,
couple times.
mouse-like marsupials in Australia, and they'd be almost anonymous except for one odd fact. During their brief mating season, the males of this genus copulate with females for up to 12 hours straight,
Damn.
stripping their bodies of vital proteins in the process
Yeah, I know how that goes.
and dismantling their immune systems.
Damn, dude. They're breaking down some kind of a sting breathing tantric technique to keep it going for that long. It's a pretty solid run right there.
Shortly afterwards, the exhausted males drop dead.
Wow. Damn, bro.
What a way to go, though.
I mean, that's how I want to go. It's one of those times of being like a one pump chump isn't so bad. Hey, at least I get to have sex more than once.
You got one?
Yeah, all right. We got one here. The crown jewels contain the 2 biggest diamond cuts on Earth. There you go. Sadly, the way
That's it?
that's it. Sadly, the way these crown jewels have been swelling up, I'm giving them a run for their money at the moment here. But
Yeah, it's got that one in the fucking, that, it's all, Jesus Christ. It's all fucking, the big controversies about. They were trying to get him to return it after the queen died.
Ugh.
That jewel that's in the fucking thing that's from India
Damn.
that they stole.
I
The
gotta
big,
step up my knowledge of the
yeah,
the crown
fucking knowledge
jewels.
bombing
there,
on you right
dude.
now. It's like the most famous jewel in the world, and it was fucking stolen from India. It's got some name, and it's some preposterous fucking, like, I don't know, 100 carat whatever, and they've been trying to fucking get it back.
Damn,
you know,
dude.
The British are just like, no, you know,
That's a real Ocean's 11 situation with that.
That's like
thing.
giving you
Got
back King Arthur's sword, you know?
You got
It's
the
like,
Merovingian
probably
guy
not.
fucking getting that shit on the sneak Ocean's 12 style, bro.
The security in that room is pretty insane. I've actually seen the crown jewels. They're up for display in like one of the castles in England and kind of by London or something. They're pretty dope.
Right.
Yeah, I can see why they want to hold on to them.
Yeah, indeed.
Indeed. Stolen from fucking everywhere. All right. The 100 folds in a chef's hat represent 100 ways to cook an egg.
Ooh, that's tremendous, but I already knew it because of the knowledge bound that I did many, many weeks
did
ago, bro. Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, that means I got a drink, right?
That's a drink. That's a drink.
Also,
Possibly an extra penalty drink because I had a hilarious zinger about the number of folds from Oprah from eating egg sandwiches or some shit. Or something.
I was thinking the number of folds in his nutsack.
Indeed.
All right, here's my knowledge bomb. Male honeybees lose their penises while mating.
Whoa.
Starting to kind of see a theme here, buddy.
Everyone talks about colony collapse disorder, which is devastating, of course, but not many people seem to care about the peculiar plight of the individual drone honeybee. Before a queen bee can assume her exalted title, she begins her life as a virgin bee, as they all do,
Wow.
and must be inseminated by a male. That's where the unfortunate drone comes in. In the course of mating with her heir apparent, the male's penis rips off, and he flies off to die.
Yikes.
Jesus.
That's a tough sell right there.
Yeah.
Knowledge bomb.
Speaking of, do you guys catch that beekeeper on Rogan? He did like
Yeah,
a 2.5 hour
yeah.
fucking deep dive on all things honeybee. It was pretty
Indeed.
intense.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. She's all like super famous now and shit.
Yeah.
And then I remove the bees from the...
Super soothing voices. Yeah.
You got more over there?
I got a couple cooked up, but it's all you, bro.
No, it's on you, man.
Is it on me? All
It's
right.
on you, man.
Uranus can rain diamonds.
I mean, I've known I can shit gold, but I didn't know I could rain diamonds.
That's it. I
That's
didn't
it?
have time to get any more knowledge out of that.
All right. 3 presidents, all founding fathers, John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, and James Monroe, all died on July 4th.
Wow.
Presidents Adams and Jefferson also died the same year in 1862. President Monroe died in 1831.
Damn, dude.
Well, yeah, all dead
Some
on the 4th of
conspiracy
July.
theory shit right there for sure. Taken out by the deep state, the original deep state.
Bruce Springsteen cannot be reached.
All right, this is the most bizarre one in terms of animal sex that I think you're ever going to hear. Male anglerfish. You know, those fish underwater in like the deep parts of the ocean with like the fishing poles in front of them and the glowing bait.
Yeah.
All right, so those guys, male anglerfish, fuse irreversibly with female anglerfish during sex.
Whoa.
Wow.
All right. In order to reproduce, the quote-unquote sexually parasitic male attaches itself to the female's belly. Their circulatory systems then connect, and then the male slowly dissolves.
What
Jesus,
the
man.
fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turns into a snack.
Yeah, that's what it's like being married. Whoa. Hey. No respect.
Side note, I'd love to get a little sneak peek at your browser history there, guy. I suspect it's got some stories to tell.
Yes.
It's all fucking yeah.
I love sex of all different forms.
It's all a bunch of bonobos fucking going at each other and shit.
I'm picturing like an old school scrambled porn Spice Channel style. Like you just got some fucked up Animal Planet shit. You're just looking to
Just
catch
ants
a
having
glimpse of
sex
the
24/7, just, you know, going at it.
kangaroos getting pounded from behind. It's like, oh, I saw a tit. I saw a tit.
Hey, interesting fact about kangaroos. The female ones have 3, I think, vaginal canals.
What?
Yeah.
You're pulling
it's
that off
crazy.
the top of your head
Yeah.
right now. There's no photo.
So,
Ladies and gentlemen, this is all
That's
animal
intense.
knowledge
Yeah.
bombs.
No, it was in the same article I was getting the other ones from, to be fair. I don't think it's like interesting enough to be its own animal fact,
It's pretty wild.
but
dude.
that is
Pretty
kind of wild, right? Yeah.
All right, you ready? The Barbie doll's full name is Barbara Millicent Roberts from Willows, Wisconsin. Her birthday is March 9th, 1959, when she first displayed at the New York Toy Fair.
Wow.
Barbie's looking fresh.
Looking pretty
for
good for her
a
age,
59-year-old,
yeah.
yeah.
Holding it down.
Knowledge bomb.
Had a little work done, maybe? I don't know.
Lots of
very
plastic
plastic,
surgery.
Trypophobia is the fear of closely packed holes. There you go. This is not a troublesome affliction for any of Kim Kardashian's partners.
Oh, I think my wife has that. Oh, hey.
Things got wildly uncomfortable in here. Wildly uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, that's what she tells me. I don't know.
Oh, Jesus, guys. I have another good one in the same vein of everything I was talking about earlier. Should I? I gotta go with this. All right.
Can I take a wild guess?
It's about animals fucking.
and then dying. All right. It's the oh shit. It's the same animal, but this one is different.
During a giraffe gangbang.
All right. Adders sunbathe before sex to warm up their genitals and to help produce sperm.
Wow.
Adder?
kind of lay out.
You say
the
otter or
snake.
adder?
Adders.
What's an adder?
Like
Snake?
those snakes with the hoods, I think, right?
It's a penis snake. It's an uncircumcised snake. Yeah, the black adder. All right. There actually aren't 57 varieties of Heinz ketchup and never were. Company founder H.J. Heinz thought his product should have a number, and he liked 57.
Throw it down, Heinz. It's well played.
Does that mean there's no 21 herbs and spices in KFC's
There's
recipe
not.
either?
They did a bunch of tests and shit on that, and they were like, we found 9.
It's maximum 7
I've been
herbs.
scammed this whole time. It's
That's
bullshit,
bunk.
dude.
Yep.
What else have I been lied to about?
Mostly animal sex.
Yeah, probably.
All right, my last stanza here, the last fucking Hail Mary. Human teeth are the only part of the body that cannot regrow itself. There you go.
Like
Oh, but bones can't regrow themselves.
If you
Yeah,
break a bone,
limbs
it
can't
fucking heals
either.
up.
Oh,
It
they
might
heal.
crooked,
Yeah.
but heals back up.
All right, but if you get an arm chopped off, it doesn't grow back.
Right.
You use your fucking full arm.
We're getting into the semantics of this point.
if I lose my kidney, it doesn't just come back. Right? It's kind of a weird thing. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, you're getting called out on that.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean,
not
if
a
Alec,
knowledge bomb at all.
Yeah. Knowledge
Alec
lie.
Baldwin accidentally blasting through your aorta. I guess that's not. Yeah.
All right.
I think you should take a shot after spouting that one.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, indeed. That's what the game originally was. When somebody knew something that you try to drop a knowledge bomb, you got to drink.
Right.
But if it's a straight up lie, you should drink.
The American media is founded upon that, as my friend. Let's be real now.
For real though, if I lost a bunch of my teeth, I wouldn't just want like dentures, you know. I'd want them to have like a sweet sweet
You want
feature.
grills. Yeah, you want diamonds in them.
Dude, I want them to do shit. Like, you know, I want to have like the Swiss Army knife of dentures.
Oh, okay.
Like a built-in fucking microwave that like heats up the food while I'm chewing it or something, you know what I mean?
Inspector Gadget shit.
Yeah, that's right. It's like, oh yeah, it's always warm.
Right.
I guess. A cyanide pill in the back tooth. I got one more fucking knowledge bomb here for you guys. Let me see if I can fucking work my way through this. One of President John Tyler's grandsons is still alive today. Have you guys heard that shit?
Whoa.
Yeah, I've read this before, but okay, it says he was born in 1790. How is this possible? President Tyler was the 10th U.S. president, was 63 when his son Lion Tyler was born in 1853.
Oh, nice.
Lion's son was born when he was 75.
Wow.
So President Tyler has a living grandson named Harrison Tyler and is 94 years old. Lion's other son, Lion Jr., passed away in 2020 at the age of 95. The Tyler family still remains in the president's home, Sherwood Forest Plantation in Virginia.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Isn't that fucking
Soak that in a
wild?
little
My
bit.
grandpa was the 10th president of the United States.
Jesus.
Wow.
That's some dominant gene pool in that
Yeah,
lineage,
no shit.
boys.
How do you live up to that?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Still shooting fertile bombs at age 70, dude, first of all, then making it to 94. across
Motherfuckers
the
is
board.
dropping loads across West Virginia. He's really seeding his plantation.
Yeah.
Out of control.
That was good. That was some good shit there.
Not too bad for some on-the-fly knowledge bombs.
Indeed.
There.
Never is.
Some ad hoc knowledge bombs.
Yeah, there's like whole podcasts that just do that. Like no such thing as a fish, right? But
Flying without a net, baby.
that's a
Indeed.
podcast name.
Oh, indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not up on anything but fucking Dangerville, dude. It's not worth
I mean,
listening to.
Dangerville is like the best one.
Gotta prioritize.
Yeah, fucking Rogan's still calling me. I'm like, yeah, I'm
I don't know.
blowing him off.
It's kind of a
That
big
shit
deal.
down. It's just getting too corporate these days.
He keeps begging us to come on, right?
Yeah, like, no, he keeps trying to come on here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, man.
And Joe, man, I can't introduce
We're
you to these
booked out
guys
for
yet. You're not
months,
cool
Joe.
enough.
Like,
We already
Back
got
burner
one
that
fucking
shit.
bald ape-like fucking son of a bitch on here.
Yeah, it's, there's 2 bald people on the podcast already. Yeah.
So in a random and hilarious, this cracked me up. I don't know why I thought this was so fucking funny. I'm at the grocery store the other day. Okay, I bop into a Walmart just to grab something. I hate Walmart, beside the point, right across from the house, essentially. So I bump into a Walmart. I'm checking out at the auto lane, right? So the lady in front of me just bolts out, gets done. I walk up immediately behind her. As I'm coming up to the auto checkout, I see the cat that was working at Walmart hit the like wildly satisfied button on the survey and then just coolly cooked past me. It was the best thing I've ever seen. This real sly game. You look like, hey, what are you gonna do? Just get right on moving.
Nice.
These guys crushed it.
I had a bizarre experience at a coffee shop yesterday, man.
Yeah.
So I usually go to the bitter end whenever I'm doing any type of writing. So in this case, I was putting a proposal together. And I show up. This barista's over there. She's kind of cute. You know, we got some rapport going over the last however many months I've been going. And she's like, hey, I'm so glad you came in. It's my last day. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, I started up a new thing, too. She chatted a little bit. I was like, sat down, had my coffee. 30 minutes later, after kind of a busy bit where a bunch of people were coming up and she was serving everyone, she goes into the back of the coffee shop and just starts weeping and sobbing out loud. And I'm in this coffee shop. There's like 20 other people, and we're all looking at each other like, what the fuck is going on? And then another customer comes in after this has been going on for 5 minutes. This has been going on for 5 minutes in the back, just weeping out loud. Customer walks in. She walks out just like nothing. Nothing's been going on,
Making
man.
his fucking latte.
It's like, whoa.
Nothing to see here.
Girl, you can act.
That's out of control, though. Holy shit.
And she's smiling and like, oh, hey,
How
we have a
fucking
great day.
awkward.
So, she helps customer out, goes right into the back again. The weeping starts back up.
What the fuck?
Damn, dude.
I just don't want to.
Damn. Did you ever find out why or anything? Just because it was the last day?
How do you approach that?
I know.
It's like, hey, I heard you sobbing uncontrollably
Yeah,
in the
that's
back. Can I buy this cookie?
I'm trying to write, bitch.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I have a to-do list. I'm knocking out here.
Dude, speaking of, I've got a bonus chaps my ass about complicated coffee orders, dude. I could not hate a complicated coffee order much, dude. Our boss offers to get us coffee a few weeks back, right?
People are like writing up all these.
Yeah, give me a latte, give me a fucking cappuccino. You keep it simple so you're not, an inconvenience to the person. This cat, I wrote this down because it was so absurd. He orders a grande cold brew. Yeah. I forgot the E on this. A grande cold brew with vanilla syrup, caramel drizzle, and a splash of vanilla sweet cream.
Wow.
Go fuck yourself, buddy.
That's a lot of shit.
That's a dude.
Much, is it not?
I've heard way worse orders, honestly, than that. But I wouldn't be ordering that either. But
Just make your own
some of
goddamn
them,
coffee.
I've read lists
right?
of like online from baristas that are kind of like these that are like, what's the craziest order you've ever gotten? Dude, they are like ridiculous, like shit you can't even fucking imagine. I'll have to try to find one of those
To
lists.
be the guy behind them in line, just going, God
Yeah, it's going,
damn it,
fuck
this is
you, dude.
excruciating. I'll take my women like I take my coffee, strong and black, bro. I like
right.
both the same.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy like the flavored coffees, but they come that way. There's nothing extra going on there.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
hazelnut ground coffee. Everybody loves that shit.
Exactly.
Well, it's like you can get a coffee if you're going in by yourself and you're not being like a fucking, like if your boss is like, I'm gonna pick up coffee, you get a fucking,
Yeah, you're sitting there trying to read this off your phone. Fucking splash of oat milk. Like, come on, dude.
Jesus Christ.
It stinks.
Yeah. Do you guys like Starbucks even?
Not really. I think it's overrated.
Starbucks stinks.
Yeah.
I'd rather have any other coffee than Starbucks, really.
I have like 5 Starbucks gift cards that and I've never used them.
They're just rotting.
And there's not a convenient one either is the thing. There's like, I don't even know where one is.
Oh, like they're like in
around.
Target, man. You can go to Target and get
I'm
yourself
not
a little
going
Starbucks.
into, fuck, I'm not going into Target to get a coffee. I avoid Target like the plague.
Did I just
They're
hear
family
it's
fare.
too hard to find a
They are.
Starbucks? Like,
Yeah. They're everywhere, dude. What do
There
you
doesn't no, I'm
Yeah.
saying like in my
They're
in
literally
my route,
across the street from
dude.
each other in a
On
lot
my
of
route,
places.
they're
like,
building a Starbucks
telling
in your
you, there's not a
backyard.
convenient
They're just
one.
on the other side of the fence.
no convenient one in my life.
Starbucks is everywhere. That's an unbelievable
You
statement.
again,
to
if
make.
you gotta go to Starbucks, like you said, but I'm not going like it's got to be on the way, bro. I'm not
Yeah.
swinging into
How
some
much?
fucking.
How much more on the way could it be?
It's not on the way. I'm
Jesus.
telling you, there's
Nowhere?
no on the way, dude.
Where do you go?
Work around.
the
I'm fucking
nexus
going,
of the
dude.
universe, dude. This
No
bereft of Starbucks.
I'm not
no
going in
Starbucks as far
either.
as the eye
Like I'm
can
not
see.
going into fucking family fare. Like I'm not going into another location to go to a Starbucks. Now I'm walking
It's
through the
drive-through and
store.
nothing when it comes
Fuck
to
all that,
Starbucks,
man. I'm
yeah.
especially like Target. Fuck that.
Hey, I love me some Target, man.
Oh man, I went in
always
there
fun.
recently.
Big Target.
Yeah, it was the worst thing ever. We couldn't find a goddamn thing. I'm like, I'm never stepping foot in the this fucking store.
Where do
It's
you like to
slipping
shop,
a little
Ross?
bit though?
Amazon. No.
That is pretty nice.
I pretty much have figured out that like nowhere has what I want. So like it's just a fucking waste of time. And it's like it's kind of unfortunate, like I get it, but it's like it's just to the point where like I can find exactly what I want online in like 10 minutes. I don't got to go anywhere. And I just got to wait a couple of days for it to come here.
That's
and
true.
I understand that it's destroying the planet and the economy and human beings in general. But when I go to a store, I'm like, they don't got it. They don't fucking got what I want.
Yeah,
and then
it's a real
And
fool's
then they always
errand
go,
these days,
especially like, dude, my hilarious thing I've always said, this has been going on forever, is like music gear. When I got to buy something, a lot of it can be pretty specific and whatever. But like, so, you know, Guitar Center puts all the mom and pop stores out of business. You know, is how this all went, just like everything. But so you go into Guitar Center, and I like Guitar Center, don't get me wrong. But they're like, it's always like, I'm like, do you have this? And they go, no, but we can order it for you. I'm like, motherfucker, I know how to work the internet.
Yeah.
The reason I came to a store is because I want to buy it now.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
it does
like,
feel a little belittling.
I can also order it, bro. You know, like, yeah, I know it's
literally
a job,
the entire
it's just
point of your
stupid.
and then you
I
can come
know.
here and pick it up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like no, dude, I'll just order it. I'm like, no, I'm gonna order it from Sweetwater. Is what I was telling them. They're a big competitor.
I'm the last human being on the planet that will still occasionally buy CDs, and I get the same thing, which is even more ridiculous.
yeah, there's
right?
no-
Dude, I'm already going out of my way when I can easily load it on Apple Music in 2 seconds just because I want the physical CD.
No stores are gonna sell
and then I'm
CDs
gonna
anymore.
wait another fucking 2 weeks for you to order it for me at a $6 markup. You're breaking my balls.
Yeah,
man. You're
I'll
breaking
just
my balls.
order it, and you can order it. Usually, like a lot of the time, the CDs you're ordering, so you can order it like directly.
Yeah,
from,
bro,
like,
I
the
just queue up
artist
that
or
Apple
something.
Music right in front of them. It's like, nope, I'm all set. Man.
So
Thanks.
I buy things from Amazon that I don't want to take back in my car. So like
Yeah.
furniture.
Oh yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I
That's where
mean?
this shit you're sitting
Yeah.
on came from, basically,
Yeah.
or Wayfair or whatever the fuck. You know, it's all the same shit. But,
Right.
You know. Yeah.
I'm terrified to order from Amazon for any clothing stuff because I don't know the return process. I've never had the balls to return
You gotta,
Amazon purchases. You're like, how do you even do that?
Yeah, you get. It's just
the
like
darkest
anything. You
and
fucking
scariest
you
of
just
waters
box
for
it
me.
back up and fucking send it back. You just make a label. I just returned a trash can. I bought this trash can. It looked all cool. It came and it's like enormous. It's way bigger than I thought, and it won't fit in our little closet where we're keeping the trash can. So I
Yeah.
like had to like. Fucking, I should have filled it up with trash. And fucking put the label
This
on
didn't
it.
fit my trash
That would have
disposing
been
needs,
awesome.
bro.
Just keep doing that. Run the scam. See if it
Dude,
works.
it's just like, yeah, buying this and returning it's cheaper than trash.
Yeah. Order full-size garbage bins.
Fill them up with bags of trash and just return them to Amazon.
The efficiency of the Amazon shipping.
I'm telling you,
crowd's really
it
been in
came
the
this
ass on
way.
that
It
one
came
for
with
sure,
all the
dude.
trash in it. Now I'm returning it.
Amazon
Speaking of
should handle
clothes
the
and
fucking
t-shirts,
trash
dude,
service.
has you guys seen those commercials for those? I think they're called True Fit t-shirts.
Yeah, yeah.
They
well,
are hilarious.
Well, I think
man.
I did a fake ad about one of the. It was the same.
We did some My Undies.
I did no.
think
I
it was
did the.
that,
I did the T-shirt too, though.
I don't
Pretty sure.
remember that, dude. I think
pretty
that might
sure.
be one that was cooked up in your head. I definitely don't remember hearing
It's
that, dude.
possible either way.
But
I
the
could have
ads
been
on
high.
those, like you'll get them when I'm watching YouTube shit, they'll
Yeah.
pop up and they're
Yeah.
like 30 seconds. They're fucking laugh out loud funny. Thank God for somebody legitimately throwing it down
Indeed.
with funny advertising.
Yeah, it's and it was True Classic Tees.
True Classic
And I was
Tees,
doing
yeah.
True Basic or something like that. I'm pretty sure it's in there, dude. You
Maybe.
have to look for that
I'm
one.
gonna do a deep dive on
Got to
the
go back to
episodes
the
there.
fake ads I was doing. I need to like put those up like separate or something. Finally,
Yeah.
put them up as like a compilation or something.
I mean, you got a gold one chilling in the bank
I do,
from
we
your
got one.
boys.
We got one. I haven't had my recording rig to literally couldn't do it.
Yeah, and yeah. You gotta get
Speaking
that
of
whole-
ads, did you hear that the M&M's characters got retired?
I did hear some shit. What
Yeah,
happened
dude.
with that?
I guess they were trying to make them gender neutral.
Oh,
Or
Jesus.
something, and
'Cause
there
there
was,
was
like-
the girl one too. the
yeah, they
green
tried
one,
to
right?
Yeah, the sexy girl one,
de-sexify
man.
the
They
the
did do
M&Ms.
that.
I got all
And then
pricked up
that
every time I
didn't
saw her,
go
man.
over
Yeah,
well.
Got rid
yeah.
of her.
They shit canned it all together after
Nice.
that. Dude, I saw this. Is this a true thing or is this a joke? I saw this whole like supposed write up from M&M's like, we didn't mean to offend, blah, blah, blah. The super sincere, like,
Oh my
6-line
God.
thing. And then they go, like, we're going to get somebody that we really feel can unite the masses. We're going to get Maya Rudolph. Is this a
What?
real thing? Do you know what I'm talking about? You seem to be up to date on the
I don't know who
M&M's
Maya
knowledge here.
Rudolph is,
Some
but
like
I've heard of that.
random.
She was on
comedic
SNL.
actress who's
Yeah,
not that
yeah.
famous
Like a
anymore.
comedian or something?
Yeah, she's just like a sketch comedian
Yeah.
from back in the day.
Bitches, you sell chocolate, man. We don't need all this, right?
I know,
I think
it's
it
not-
might be a marketing ploy, right? Because I didn't
It's
even know
all-
this was a
clearly,
thing.
yeah, dude.
Are they going to bring them back at some point?
I hope so.
Maybe do like
Probably.
They
an
always
M&M's
play
movie.
the classic Santa Claus one at fucking
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Christmas. And
The pub that they got off the hate of change, like that was a big theory that people were talking about in the marketing world. Like the pub that they got just off the hate of doing the whole thing and being so absurd and over the top, like everybody was talking about this shit. It
Yeah.
was trending, you know. It was
Dude, I can go
Yeah,
for some
yeah.
M&M's right now.
Yeah. Are you a peanut M&M or a straight M&M guy?
Ooh, I like them both, really. They should do mixes.
I feel like
a
the
bag where you
peanut
can get
M&Ms
both.
are overrated.
That's what they should
I'm
do
not
right
gonna lie
there.
to you. Give me that OG old school
Yeah.
M&M.
Oh, yeah. No complaints there either. I
Melt
like them
my
both.
mouth, not in my hands, son.
I like the
I'll buy some
commercial where
M&Ms.
the red one and the yellow one both fucking double team the green one. they fucking give her the DP and then shit. That's a
So an
nice
Eiffel Tower over the back.
That's just in Ross's browsing history.
That's a
M&M
nice
stuff.
commercial.
He's an M&M. What do you call someone who has a fetish for M&Ms? Like an M&Mery or something?
An M&M's to kiss.
M&Mophile.
S&M.
That's well played.
Yeah. Did you hear what?
That's Skittles and M&Ms.
Indeed.
It's really...
That's just whoa. Let's not get crazy here, okay? That's cross species.
Yeah,
It's the Skittles and M&Ms doing the Kit Kats with
Talking
each other.
apples and oranges here. That's some Bloods and Crip shit going on.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the shit about fucking Pink Floyd, The Dark Side of the Moon has its 50th anniversary, and so the Pink Floyd team puts out a fucking a big picture on their thing about it. You know, it's a big fucking deal. It's one of the biggest records ever made.
Right.
It says like Pink Floyd Dark Side 50, and it's got like a thing that's a variation of the album cover with the rainbow in the 50. And all these fucking like right wing dudes are all like, "Fuck you, fucking people." They think it's like a
Jesus
gay thing or something. And then, so there's all dropping comments like, "You too, Pink Floyd. You fucking blah, 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 blah." You know, it's just like, oh my fucking god, like hundreds and hundreds of idiot comments. Like,
Jesus. Yeah, it's a little much. Let's chill out there, bro.
so fun. It's like, bro, you've never even seen the record cover to Dark Side of the Moon.
Indeed.
People are so fucking crazy.
Goddamn liberal fascists.
Like, oh, Pink Floyd's, yeah, you didn't know that, like, Roger Waters is, like, one of the craziest, like, hardcore liberal guys in the
Yeah,
world.
indeed.
Even that's, like, has nothing to do with the album cover being
Right.
the prism and the rainbow. You know?
It stinks. Give me a break, bro.
Yeah. Fucking people suck. Just idiots. That's crazy. Like 50 years.
That's a long
Dark Side of
time.
the
That's
Moon.
absurd to think about, man.
Yeah. It's still a good album, man. I like that.
It
album.
really is, yeah. It holds
I
up.
wonder if old Muskegon Lake's gonna throw it down with some laser light show.
They
this
should.
summer, dude.
You know what
That's
is
where it's
going
at.
on is there's this fucking Pink Floyd tribute band around here that's getting really big, which I have some issues with tribute bands a little bit,
Okay.
but we were gonna go see him actually when Jordan was here on the pod. He went the next night, and I was gonna go with him, but it was a fucking blizzard, if you remember that weekend.
yeah.
And so I didn't end up going. And then I hope this is fucking okay for me to say, but he like got the Rona right after that,
Oh,
and he
yeah.
thinks he got it at that Floyd show.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh fuck, I'm glad I didn't go to that.
Yeah, dude.
But they're now playing this tribute act. I think they just put out there playing the Froenthal in Muskegon,
Okay.
which is a pretty big room.
Yeah, that'd be choice to see.
Yeah, yeah.
I've only seen one tribute band. It was a Metallica tribute band called Battery, and they threw it down. It was choice, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, Nick
Fake
Mod plays
Hetfield was
in
on point. It was great.
fucking Limp Bizkit tribute
Yeah, I
band.
forgot he was saying that.
Yeah. I haven't seen him, but I'm sure it's fun.
That is among the 5 most inappropriate tribute bands that you could do, dude. Fake Fred Durst out there just throwing it down, inciting riots at fake Lollapalooza. He's getting after it. That's glorious.
I saw a Michael Jackson once at the intersection. Some fucking
tribute
That would
band.
be huge.
yeah, Michael Jackson tribute guy.
Not the actual Michael Jackson.
No.
I think
the
there's some big
intersection,
Michael
that'd be a
Jackson
wild
play
concert.
that was going around recently.
Oh, what?
Like some Broadway Michael Jackson like story of his life
Oh,
type
for
thing.
real?
Yeah, it was supposed to be pretty intense.
But it was terrible.
One would think.
A lot of ABC.
Indeed.
And then you got to fucking, it's a hard turn from that to the child rape, dude.
Yeah, right. You get the Pepsi years going. Dude. Speaking of,
They light him
top
on fire
priority,
every night on stage, the Jerry curl.
I haven't seen it yet. They've got just going to town, dude. There's this documentary about this true story from like the early 90s or something, and I haven't watched it yet. They're running this Pepsi promotion, and it's like,
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah.
Was it choice? Was it sweet? Is
It's
it worth a watch?
yeah.
Okay.
He there's a Pepsi points program. You remember like points programs?
Yeah,
And
100 points
I've
for
heard
a
about this
baseball
documentary.
cap.
They
Yeah.
made this fucking joke at the end of the commercial that if you turned in like 7 million points, they would give you a Harrier jet. And it was clearly a joke, but there was no disclaimer on it. And so this kid recruits his mentor, who was a successful guy who had some money behind him. And they fucking plot this scheme to collect all of these points, and they figure out like, all right, if we get 3 warehouses, we can put in this many cases of Pepsi.
Yeah.
And like how to get all the
Really
points. on
doing
this
the
shit.
math on it, going full Rain
they
Man
did all
on it,
that,
dude.
and then that like failed. They basically, this whole thing took like 2 years. They fucking realized that after that like didn't work. They go through like different variations of the scheme. And after that didn't work, they finally realized that you can just get the magazine that has the products in it, and you can basically just pay the cash equivalent of the Pepsi point to get. So it's like if you want the leather jacket, instead of going and drinking the Pepsi, you can just basically
$200
mail in the
yeah.
money
Right.
to this address, and then they'll fucking send you the
It's
thing.
a brilliant move on their part.
So they get a
by
check
the
for
way. Well
$7
played.
million,
Yeah.
and they're like, are we doing this?
They realize that they can just buy Pepsi points basically, and they're not. It's not like a dollar to dollar equivalent. So they spend this much, and a Harrier jet is worth like $35 million or what more. I don't
Probably,
even know.
yeah.
$100 million or something. So anyway, they get in this huge legal pissing match with fucking Pepsi. Pepsi offered to give them a couple million. They like turn it down.
Give me that Harrier
and
jet.
fight it.
Yeah, you gotta have it.
And then we were talking about it. Do you remember? There's an episode of The Simpsons
Where he gets Stampy, right?
And we were like, oh, I didn't realize at the time that The Simpsons was doing a parody of this.
Yeah,
because it was
yeah.
huge. Like, this was like he was on Oprah. He was on just for like a couple of years, just all over the news.
Oh, man,
and
that's
shit.
out of control.
Yeah. And we were like, oh, this is the
You have $1 million
Stampy.
or the elephant.
Or the elephant. Like they're doing those voices and shit. The radio
Oh,
guys
that's
on
well
The
played.
Simpsons.
Dude. Simpsons on top of it. Talking Pepsi scams, and it was merely a whisper.
Yeah, it's a fun documentary though, and like
kudos to those guys, and big props for going next level ball busting, next level troll job, dude. Just going, we'll take the hair.
Yeah.
They interview the marketing team behind all that shit. The fucking how they had to change the commercial right after to put a disclaimer, and then it was like
it was all Ted's idea.
Seriously, that's what it was like. And fucking there was like the original cut of the episode had the Pepsi points amount being like had like twice as many zeros, so it was like some preposterous amount of billions or trillions, right? And they're in the editing room, and the editing guy who finishes the commercial, and like some fucking cheeseball marketing guy goes, the number's too long. I can't read the number. So he cuts it down to like 7 billion. And then he's like, it's a little small. I can't
man.
so he cuts off 3 more zeros. So like, this is just this fucking editor just going like,
the fucking marketing guru to shit
like,
the bed.
They're like, it's good. You know, now you can see it. You know, he's just like, you can't read it on the TV.
It's doing the finger frame. Just like, that's far superior.
Man.
Yep. And it was weird because like the Canadian version had some kind of disclaimer. So like Pepsi Canada like caught it or something, and like, it's
Pepsi Canada's clean. This operation is going, nope, we're not touching this one.
We just watched another. Where's that weed at? Is there any left on this? There's a weed.
I got a stash up here, but it's got to be tended to.
I should tend to that.
It's all freeform.
All right. I watched another documentary that was these motherfuckers that collect Pez dispensers. This is on Netflix right now. It's called the fucking Pez.
The Lords of Pez.
It's some shit like that. Yeah, it's this one guy, and he fucking he figures out again how to scam the system where he fucking Pez USA is like different than Pez International. So all the Pez dispensers that are sold internationally are not sold in the United States. So like you can't get them. So all these fucking nut job like super hardcore Pez collectors can't get all these wild ass fucking designs that are made in like they're making them in fucking like it's in like the eastern bloc of Europe is where the factories are. So there's no fucking rules, and they're just making there's tons of these
wild
kinds of
Pez
bootleg
dispensers,
Pez
man.
literally,
dispensers, bro.
but they're not bootleg. They're real Pez dispensers, but they'll make fucking any kind of weird characters and fucking just weird ugly shit. Like here, it's all like, you know, it's a Disney character, or it's Star Wars,
Looney
like,
Tunes or whatever.
This
We
is
got
like
the Joseph Stalin Eastern Bloc special.
here's Chairman Mao popping out fucking Pez. So this motherfucker, he's in Michigan. He's in fucking it looked like central Michigan. It was like Lansing area. He figures out that he can go over there and just start buying Pez dispensers under the table from like the actual Pez people because they just want American money.
Damn,
so they're literally just like
he's scoring that black market Pez.
See, that's
bro.
what it was for real. And they were like, we call it the gray market. It's not technically illegal, but it's like. And then he figures out that because you got to bring it back through customs. You know, he comes back on the plane with duffel bags, like army bags full of Pez dispensers.
There's tens of Pez dispensers up his ass.
Indeed. They're like, you don't have to do that. He's like, I know. But they figure out, the customs guy figures out that obviously this guy's bringing in all this fucking shit that's clearly like a registered product, whatever. Like you can't do this, is illegal. Realizes that Pez never registered with customs. So technically it's not illegal. And the guy telling the story, the guy doing it, he goes, the customs guy literally goes, if they were stupid enough to not do this, they deserve it. Shut his book and said, you're free to go.
That's hilarious.
And so the guy just fucking, and he's saying like, this is a company that has high-powered lawyers that work for them, and they didn't register with fucking the trademarks office. Like,
can you imagine? Like,
wild.
This is a movie waiting to be made, dude. The sweaty guy, this palms fucking icy cold, dripping, dude, just at the border. Just, we're just coming across for some French fries and gravy.
It seriously was like that.
This guy just flipping out over some fucking Pez.
He's
bro.
this fucking he's like 5'5", and he looks like a fucking hobbit. He has this huge beard, long hair, dresses. They were like, he looks like a homeless guy. And this was half of the reason why he could get away with this too, is because he just looked so
unassuming fucking gumpy motherfucker.
But yeah, he just made this whole reputation, and he was making he quit his job. He was making like hundreds of thousands of dollars selling Pez at toy shows and shit. Because he was like, these collectors, a Pez dispenser was like $2. I'm selling ones for $300.
That math checks out.
He's like, you can't get them. So he's like, builds a new house, like all this shit. He's killing it, right? But he's also is in this war with Pez America. like he becomes like literally like nemesis with the fucking president of Pez America, who they call the Pesident.
That's a well played pun.
And this guy
you
is
do not want this motherfucker on your bad side, by the way.
he's his
dude.
own character. This fucking, you know, like he's this crazy fucking character. The
Guy who runs
the guy
Pez,
who runs
of course he
Pez.
is. Yeah, soak him in a little bit.
And so they're in this fucking like cat and mouse game of like he doesn't or can't have him arrested, but he's like doing all this shit, and he eventually the guy, the fucking Pez importer guy who this is about, he finally decides, well, I can just make my own designs and have Pez in Europe make them for me, and now I have even more exclusive shit. So he puts everything that he has into it. He puts like $250,000.
All his eggs in the Pez basket.
Literally, dude. And fucking he's like guaranteed, or like he makes these deals that it's exclusive to him. Like, these are my exclusive designs. You can only sell them to me. But this is still part of Pez International, and so Pez America, the actual Pez company, what they do is how he finally shuts him down is he realizes that he can just have all of this guy's designs, because this is basically sort of like illegal still or whatever. They have all of his designs made for them, and they start selling his designs at regular Pez $2 prices. Ooh. So they literally cut him out of the market by like being like, here's all your designs and anybody can buy them at any, because this guy made like,
Pez game ain't for this thing.
It's seriously not. And this is like a 20-year fucking thing.
Dog shit in the Pez we're about.
They're like, we can make Pez for fucking pennies on the dollar. Well, he put in everything he has, so they just cut him out, sold fucking all of his designs. And that shut him out, and he lost everything.
Can you imagine the seedy underbelly that is the Pez game, dude? You got motherfuckers chained up, fucking narco style, dude.
It was pretty wild.
Pablo Escobar just torturing motherfuckers. Just going, no.
And this guy,
my Pez is missing.
Dude, he goes underground for fucking 10 years. Nobody ever hears from him ever again. And then this motherfucker like has resurfaced now at all the toy shows and shit. And he's like a legend, because like the younger people coming up now all like know this story.
The next generation of the Pez fucking gang, bro.
So fucking he's fucking like being asked to like speak, and like he's signing autographs, and people are paying him for pictures and all this shit, dude.
Damn,
yeah,
dude.
the fucking Pez. I can't fucking think of the name of the goddamn thing. It's the Pez something. The Pez. It's some fucking stupid, clever name, The Pez King.
Hilarious pun. We're getting some of our finest researchers on the case right now. We'll check out Pez thing.
Pez documentary. Yo, Jamie, look it up. Ooh, wait, that's good shit.
That's too shabby, right? The Pez Outlaw, dude. Soak it in a little bit. This has Mid-Michigan's the Pez
That's what I'm saying.
Outlaw.
Yeah, it's Lansing. He's like
yeah.
from Lansing.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How do you find an opportunity like that? That's so bizarre.
Yeah, it goes through how he fell into it. He was selling something else, and he was like at a toy show. Oh, he's like got OCD, and he's collecting cereal boxes, and he's getting toys from their points programs, like the Pepsi shit we were just talking about. So he's going around to fucking recycle places and getting all of their cereal boxes, like cardboard recyclers. He collects all the cereal boxes, like any special edition. They show his basement. It's like he's got them all flattened and they're organized, and some of them are in. But he's also cutting out all the barcodes and sending them in to fucking to get the toys.
That's hilarious.
And then he's selling the toys at a toy show. And he's working this system, and they eventually had to put disclaimers on all their shit that said 1 per household, because he was going and getting all these free cereal boxes and mailing, and he was like, my mailbox used to be just overflowing with toys. Like the fucking mailman would come, and it would just be, I didn't even hit that yet.
I just quit yesterday.
He goes, if you look on a cereal box, it'll say 1 per household. That was me. So then he's at a toy show and he's seeing this fucking motherfucker down the aisle selling Pez shit.
Yeah.
And she's like fucking raking in money. And so he starts talking to her like, hey, what the fuck? And she's the one that tells him like, you got to go to Eastern Europe and talk to the people over there.
Okay.
And they'll fucking hook you up.
Damn.
And you got to bring this shit back. But she was just bringing
You
it
better
small
come
amounts.
strapped, son.
It's like,
you better be ready.
The guys are saying like, if you go on vacation over there and you bring back a couple dozen Pez and you sell them on eBay or whatever, nobody gives a fuck, right?
Yeah.
But when you start bringing in tens of thousands per trip in fucking huge green duffel bags, now you're like legitimately like, importing these things for resale.
The Pablo Escobar of Pez.
Dogs all over it, bro. There's that
tunneling under the
Seinfeld
border.
episode where Jerry's got that girlfriend that's like a concert pianist, I want to say, and he puts that Tweety Bird Pez dispenser right in front of a lane, and he does the little clap, and she starts laughing.
Yeah,
and then,
she's like, ruins the concert.
yeah, then she's like, I'll never forget that laugh. And then Jerry cracks some joke after the fact. She's going, those fucking collectors of that shit get crazy, man. There was another badass documentary on HBO that was about the Beanie Babies craze.
Yeah.
Did you see that one, dude?
Yeah. That was huge
fucking
around
nuts,
here,
yeah.
too. That was Midwest, too.
Oh,
that was all
huge
Michigan, Wisconsin,
everywhere,
but it
dude.
was really Midwesty, like Illinois,
Yeah.
Chicago, because I think they were out of Chicago,
Yeah.
Beanie Babies, so like anywhere in the surrounding area.
And the genius behind that dude that started that whole thing, fucking marketing guru, man. Those super limited runs, real obscure stores, and just creating all that fucking frenzy and stuff.
Dude, I remember the Beanie Baby or TY store, like
Yeah.
right off, I think, Breton in East Paris or something.
Yeah.
No, 28th in East Paris, yeah.
They still fucking sell them, dude.
Well, that was like in the latter part, and that was like part of what made it genius. So when they were really banking, it was because they were so rare and so obscure, they would just like dump them in these random fucking little tiny toy stores
boutique
out in the middle
toy
of
stores.
nowhere. And you would just have to like hunt them down, and that was part of the whole craze.
You had to call.
Then they got super like commoditized later and started putting them everywhere, and they had like all the generic ones you could get everywhere, and then like the extra special rare ones and still be like a super secret drop release, and that was like the whole thing. But yeah. And people were collecting that stuff like crazy as legitimate investment because it was going up.
People
and up
had
and just
put their life
absurd
savings
amounts,
into it and shit. In that documentary, they interview a bunch of those people, and they're like, "Yeah, my grandma lost everything.
Yeah.
I got all our Beanie Babies in these totes that I'm storing in my basement.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
We're hoping the market someday comes back up
And
on
I think
them."
there was something where like somebody else took it over and they completely pivoted strategy, but then when they started releasing them everywhere, just like, everybody's like, oh, we don't give a fuck about these things because it took away the whole rareness.
There was a
whole
lot
hunt
of
of it,
fads like that kind of in order. Remember, like there was Tickle Me Elmo.
There's NFTs and Bitcoin.
Yeah, now they're all
Same thing.
They're digital now, right?
Do you remember the even earlier, like elementary school, quote unquote, game fads? And when I'm talking
Pogs,
here, we're
man.
talking marbles. We're talking Pogs. We're talking fucking
For us, it was
overpowered.
Pogs and
Pogs is
yo-yos.
Yo-yos is huge. The yo-yo craze is awesome. I went to see the #1 yo-yoist in the world one time. She was performing in the Grand Rapids Theater, like 6th grade, soaking it a little bit. That got a look from Susan. The news drew not a chuckle, but the yo-yo comment got full attention over here. But yeah, she was throwing it down, dude. We're talking. What was the big yo-yo company? I was trying to think of this the other day. I remember like there was the Raider.
Yeah.
There was one that was like 100. The silver
Bullet or something
was the gold
yeah.
standard. That was the $100. We're talking triple digit.
Yeah.
Titanium fucking or aluminum possibly. Yo-yo to end all yo-yos.
I can't remember the big brand, but there was that big not Yoplait, but fuck.
It's something like that.
It might have been something like that. Yoplait's the yogurt brand though, or whatever. Pogs though, man, was fucking talk about again. That's like it's so like worthless. Like they're just
Yo
this little
Mega,
cardboard.
Yo Mega,
yeah. Yo Mega.
Yo Mega had the brain one for bitches who couldn't sleep, dude. You remember making the yo-yo sleep?
Yeah,
so you do that
that's
thing,
how you
flick
start
it
every
down.
trick,
Yeah, that's
basically
the go-to trick, dude. We're talking walk the dog. We're talking Eiffel Tower. Everything comes off the sleep.
I watched a documentary
But if you couldn't
about that
sleep, they had the
recently, too.
brain yo-yo. Remember that?
Yeah,
It would
it's the cheater
auto-sleep.
one.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
weak, dude. Weak sauce.
Yeah. I never got into that. I always shoot all those trends. Oh my god, people were obsessed with that shit.
Oh man, it's a big yo-yo guy. Hacky sacks were a huge thing.
Those have been around forever, though.
Yeah.
That's like you're saying, like marbles. Marbles go back to the 30s
True,
or
but
whatever.
talking fad-wise, it had mad popularity for 1 year in middle school.
Yeah.
Dude, they
I
had a hacky sack
huge
competition.
sack of marbles.
Yeah. Oh, it was
hacky
big.
sack was got
The
big for us,
Aggie
too.
spec and the Steelies and the Aggie specs were the marbles to end all marbles. And you used to shoot against guys in the fucking played winners keepers, man.
Yeah, that's
like
what it
you
was.
fucking lose it,
Yeah.
you lose that crucial Aggie spec, dude. That's a crippling blow to the marble collection, bro.
Yeah, I had a fucking huge fucking sack of marbles. Dude.
Oh yeah, dude.
I have
Marbles for
since
days,
lost my marbles. Yeah. Pogs were fucking big though too. For
Pogs
us.
is good shit. You get the slammers. The slammer was pretty crucial. That was where it was.
What was
at.
that one game with the tops that like fought each other? Like you'd have this arena set up and you'd like throw these tops in, they would spin.
Yeah, like battle tops or something. I don't remember what it was called,
It's
but I
not
know what you're
Battle
talking
Tops,
about.
But yeah, it's like something like that. They had like a TV show with it and everything.
Indeed.
Now there were multiple combative type games back in the day. You remember
there's one there,
what were the fucking the
Hungry
main
Hungry
ones?
Hippos.
Hungry Hippos.
Hungry Hippos is one. The other one I'm thinking of is the two
Oh, the boxing
the
guys.
boxers with the heads on their springs. What's that
Rock'em
called?
Sock'em.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Yeah.
By the way, the worst game at what's that adult Chuck E. Cheese is called? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Chuck E. Cheese, man.
No, for adults.
Dave and Buster's.
Dave and Buster's, man. So on that topic, dude, Dave and Buster's, the worst game they have is a giant version of those Rock'em Sock'em robots.
That sounds cool.
But it's not. It doesn't work.
Oh, it'd be incredible if it did.
Yeah.
Bro, what we got to queue up right now is some Crossfire.
Yeah,
okay,
that's
so
what I was thinking.
we're talking Hungry
I
Hungry
remember that.
Hippos,
Yeah,
great
Crossfire
game.
was
We're
fun.
talking Rock'em Sock'em Robots, great game. A life-size one if they worked. Oh my God, that'd be epic, by the way. But Crossfire, gentlemen, in the song for Crossfire, nothing got you pumped up to have that game, dude. That was a crucial Christmas gift. Here we go.
Yeah, no, my parents got me this. I
This
didn't know it
kid
was all
rides
bad, though.
in
You
on a
fly
fucking
in.
hoverboard with lightning and fire in the background.
I think one of these kids is like fucking somebody
You'll be
famous
caught
or
up in
something.
that. Soak it in a little bit.
Is that Liam Neeson?
Yo, get caught up
Oh
in
no,
that.
you know what it was? I'll look it up next. It's fucking a Super Nintendo commercial.
Wait
with
for
Paul
it.
Rudd. Yeah, like that kid.
Yes, dude.
He's like,
how much fucking ass does that commercial kick, dude? Soak it in a little bit. Crossfire was the game to end all game, the commercial to end all commercials. That commercial lays waste, gentlemen. Soak it in a little bit.
soak this in. Goddamn fucking ass.
It's no Dial
a little bit of
spring
suds.
style body
There we go.
wash, but a pretty good commercial nonetheless.
Super Nintendo.
Oh yeah. This voiceover guy is crushing it. Feeling.
It's Paul Rudd.
Paul
dude.
Rudd!
No way. That's all I.
Inappropriate.
Yep.
Wow, dude. Yes, dude. Ant-Man and that commercial
Yeah.
for the win, son. Paul Rudd. That voiceover guy just laying waste, dude. Absolutely killing it.
That makes me want to play some Super Nintendo though, for real.
That guy in that commercial gives the In a World guy a run for his money.
It probably
when it comes
was
to
the In a World
voiceovers.
guy,
Yeah,
dude.
it's a distinct possibility.
Now you're playing with power.
That guy's choice. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that fucking little game thing up in here. We can just fucking play a bunch of old school Mario and shit.
I'll have to
dude.
bring
down.
in my brother, shout out baby bro, got me an emulator of Atari with like 100
Yeah,
Atari games
yeah.
on it. You talking Pong, talking Frogger.
The one I'm looking
All
at's got
classics.
fucking NES, SNES, like Atari, and like PlayStation 1.
That's almost too much power for
I
any
know.
one man
It's got
to
like
hold, baby.
5,000.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's too much. It's endless
Yeah.
stimulation. Yeah. I'd never leave the house.
And it comes with like different style controllers. So it comes with like the NES controllers. It comes with the PlayStation controllers.
baby.
So like you could play with like the correct like controller. And
Historically,
it's all
that's been
wireless.
the one downfall to
Yeah.
emulators is the
controller
controller is
suck.
so crucial for fucking true gamers like ourselves, gentlemen,
Especially
you know
the old
the
school.
quality
Yeah.
and the importance of the original controller for the game, because that muscle memory is so finely honed, so finely tuned, so dialed in after years.
Yeah,
you
I
imagine
could
playing
never play
3 on
Smash
some
Bros.
bullshit
on a
controller,
fucking
bro.
keyboard,
Some
you know?
aftermarket
No, me
bullshit
either.
controller trying to dominate
Yeah.
some 3 or some Super C.
Like the original
Come the fuck
Nintendo
on.
controller, like the buttons were like a
Yeah.
perfect like,
Just the right amount of grease on the D-pad. Like,
but they were like harder to push and springier somehow
Yeah.
or something. And like all the remakes were like just like really fucking jank. Like
you can
know?
never replicate the original,
God.
dude. The dominant quality engineering of those controllers,
You
the
know what's fucked up,
precision
man?
pinpoint
Is that
placement.
controller tech, dude, is so expensive now. Like there's an Xbox Elite controller. All right, so the normal controller is fucking, I think $50, right, or maybe even 60. Pretty penny for like a game
Oh,
controller,
that shit
right?
expansive now.
The Elite controllers almost 200.
Jesus. Well, what's it got on it? What's the difference?
It's got like extra buttons on the back.
Yeah,
You can like
Jesus.
customize stuff, like remap buttons however
Right.
you want. It's like,
Yeah.
come on, guys.
It's a whole
That's almost
market
as
in
much
and
as
of
your
itself,
console.
dude.
Yeah.
Like
So,
really.
the original controller that fucking changed the game, gentlemen, was that N64 talking optional D-pad, optional joystick controller.
Yeah, that was a
that was
wacky
the
one.
original
It was
choice
wacky.
controller.
I
With
loved it, though.
The Rumble Pack haptic
Rumble
feedback,
packs are terrible,
which.
though.
Oh, dude, it was so far ahead of its time, bro.
It was.
Talking Star Fox with that Rumble Pack. You kidding me, son? That Rumble Pack and that Star Fox, that's a game-winning combination.
Yeah,
you know
it was. I never had a lot of Rumble packs. I'm not gonna lie to you. That wasn't a big part of my.
Oh, man, you're missing the
64.
boat, son.
People hated that controller or loved it. It was like super like.
It was a
I
divisive
never
controller,
understood
to
it
be
even
sure.
growing up. I'm like,
Yeah.
the D-pad's never used in these games.
That's true too.
like-
That-
Yeah.
It was pretty rare to use
right.
the D-pad.
It's
So
like,
it
why
was
is it all the
kinda
way
like-
over here? Like, I can't
Yeah.
hit that and the thumbstick.
Yeah,
right?
you're supposed to use one or the other.
Yeah.
Nintendo's been making a run at that ancillary fucking gimmicky controller
Yeah.
since the
Yeah.
original NES days, bro. We're talking
Yeah.
the run pad. Remember the stomp pad
Oh
for
my-
fucking the
I-
track
oh my
games
God,
and
I
stuff,
forgot
dude?
about that,
Yeah.
dude.
Talking the
The
power glove
is the
dude.
ultimate, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
there was
apparently were like impossible to use.
Yeah. Game Genie, dude. Those little add-ons, they've been killing it with the add-on game for
Game
years.
Genie was fucking
son.
the shit.
The gun, the Nintendo
Yeah,
gun
the
for duck
zapper,
hunting
dude.
and shit, dude.
The Zapper.
Yeah, Nintendo well ahead of its time.
You're right.
to
That is
come
kind
with
of a
fucking
thing. They do
epic
have like they are
controllers.
really
Yeah.
fucking like controller like
Yeah, dude.
just like I don't
Talking innovation when it was merely a whisper, son.
PlayStation's
Talking
like,
innovation.
no,
well
we'll just
before
make one
everybody
good
else.
controller. And
Dude.
people will buy it because it
Huge
actually
fan of
works.
that PlayStation controller.
The 64 controller was fucking super good though. Honestly, it was really ergonomic.
Was and
yeah.
is, my friend.
I know. I still regret. Still
Classic
a lot of
never
regret
dies.
selling my 64.
Dude, apparently the new PlayStation controller is supposed to be like mind-opening. They have it
on the PS5.
So speaking of rumble packs, they have like individual rumble
Wow.
sensors in the triggers.
Yeah.
And they can give you varying levels of resistance.
Right.
So let's say you're playing a game like The Last of Us. Let's bring it back to that.
Yeah.
And your character is pulling a bow. So it'll be more springy.
Right.
Right.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I heard
Or like
about
if you have a gun, right, you'll pull it back and then it'll click when it shoots.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Damn, that's wild. Yeah.
I was on the hunt for a PS5 for like 2 years straight.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
finally had to cut the cord from games probably 6 months back. I haven't touched a video game in a very long time. It was taking up such a disproportionate amount of my time back in the day.
Yeah.
The time suck.
And the width wasn't there, but the depth I went into 2 games, dude, between secondarily fucking Modern Warfare or Call of Duty in general.
Oh, yeah.
Put a lot of man hours into that game. Lost a lot of good men on those battlefields, gentlemen. And Madden, dude. The
Yeah,
sheer
Madden.
hours I
Yeah.
have put into Madden over the years is staggering.
Yeah.
You
People
literally
love Madden.
have no conception of the lifetimes, the millennia, the eons I have spent mastering the game of Madden.
People love that and one of the NBA games too.
Yeah, NBA 2K is the
Yeah.
big one for the last few years.
Yeah.
It's fun shit. Those sports games are incredibly well done.
I know. I'm kind of glad I never got into it because like
It's
I used
such
to
a
watch
time
you guys
suck,
play
bro.
Madden.
Yep.
It's like it looks fun. I know that if
It's
I start
too
playing
good.
it, I'm
It's
never
too
gonna.
fun.
And now
Yeah.
they've made actual fucking NFL viewing be like Madden. Have you noticed that? I mean, I don't watch a ton of football, but I've noticed that over the years. It's like, oh, they're actually doing. It's even like the ring around the guy, and it's the same kind of like playback like clips and shit. It's like people play so much Madden that's what they're expecting to see
So,
in
okay.
football, you know?
Those who know are going to know. Everybody else is going to think I'm a douchebag for saying this. I promise you it's 100%
We all think you're a douchebag
right.
anyways. Yeah.
That's a fair point. So those games are so good and so accurate. Like, see case in point, a lot of race car drivers literally use like racing simulators to train, right?
Yeah.
Play video games to learn tracks. They've been saying that for years. Those games are so accurately done
Yeah.
and so realistic. They're a legitimate learning tool. And now
Oh,
you are
100%,
seeing
yeah.
with this young wave of coaches that are like 32-year-old head coaches now, you know,
right.
these all-star
They
fucking
learn to do it on
offensive
fucking
minds.
Madden.
Wow.
I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
Dude, thousands of hours of reps with defenses that are simulated as close to lifelike as you can. It's the Microsoft Flight Simulator equivalent of these
crazy.
games.
Yeah, it
dude.
makes sense.
And
It
these
makes
guys, like, you intuitively start to learn all these things with percentages. You're like, it's fucking 4th and 1. I go for this in Madden all the time. You get X percentage of time. And it's all realistic because it's so dialed in. So you're getting thousands of hours of simulation. In a lot of ways, it's like when the whole internet poker craze thing was taken form a few years ago.
Yeah.
And you're a poker guy, you said, Noah. So if you remember, Chris Moneymaker, what was it, like 2003-ish, won the World Series of Poker. He was an everyman guy. He was not a professional player. It captivated everybody, and like a whole generation of dudes our age got super into poker and went all in playing Texas Hold'em. Became a big craze. Then it becomes the thing on the internet, right? And you can bet other people online and play. So what used to be dominated by guys who just sat in smoky casinos for hours and hours a day learning the game of poker could be dominated by
Nerds.
a pretty smart kid who's
real.
24 years old playing thousands of hands an hour online and learning a lifetime of information and, you know, and starting to learn those fucking equations. And yeah, it's out of control.
It's real easy to go from playing online to playing in like card rooms and stuff.
Yeah.
Because you do like playing online forces you to learn the math.
Yeah.
Because there's no such thing as reading the table. There's no
Correct,
one else
yeah.
around to like look at and try to get a tell or anything like that.
Yeah.
So you develop your strategy based on the math of a huge sample size, like what you're saying, right? Now, the inverse is almost never true. It's very rare for someone who's really good playing in like card rooms to be good at online poker.
Oh, yeah. Because their whole thing is about reading the people.
Yeah, and there's still some math involved, right, with that? Like, okay, I should fold X amount of the time with this hand in this position or
Do you
whatever.
remember a guy named Chris Jesus Ferguson who wore a cowboy hat, sunglasses, and had hair down past his shoulders? Chris Jesus Ferguson...
I know like some of the greats
one of the
poker, but
greatest
that's
poker
it.
players, and he was a legit, as many of these guys are, is a brilliant mathematician.
Sure.
And at the end of the day, it's all just math, right? You know, you can do all the stuff about reading people and whatever.
Soak him in.
Yeah, Chris Jesus Ferguson, dude. Soak him in a little bit. That goatee, that glorious.
Why do they
man.
call him Jesus? Because of his long hair?
Because he
or
looks
something?
like Jesus, son.
Not really.
He's got long hair.
See, that
got long hair. It's
that
close
guy be working on a farm if he wasn't playing poker with a face like that.
But he would he just outmaths everybody, and that's all it is, man.
That's it's a huge
It's
part
learning
of it.
betting patterns is the quote unquote reading, and then you fucking figure out the math and dominate, son.
A lot of it for me has just been like mental discipline because you know you go in there to have a good time, right? But you know the best way to have a good time is to win the game. Let's be real.
And the
you
other
get to play
huge
more,
difference,
and
like,
you walk away, you know, getting paid.
I don't know how much you play, but the difference between like tournament style poker and cash game style poker,
it's a lot different.
Is vast, and everybody thinks they, you know, like that's the biggest mistake. You can clean up at a cash game table playing against a bunch of knuckleheads who are going all in every 2 seconds playing tournament style poker.
Tournament is much more like, you know, and again, like it's essentially the same, knowing when to hold them, knowing when to fold them, right?
But like, You got to know when to
Dude,
hold
in a
it,
tournament,
know when to fold it.
sometimes maybe the top 3 players get paid out, right? So there's 4 of you left.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to be that 4th person getting knocked out. So everyone starts folding all the mediocre to not so good hands. There's not as much bluffing going on.
Well, and the
right?
math changes so much too, right? Because with the blinds going up like crazy, you've got less and less blinds to play with.
Yeah.
So it's charts like changing the relative value of hands. It's a whole different ball game. And if you master one or the other, you can absolutely dominate. Like you go to the casino and sit down in a cash game and know how to play a cash game, you're going to win a lot of money, dude.
Yeah, in tournament, you typically take less risks for all the reasons you just kind of listed out. So it's a lot more kind of, if you imagine it as a boxing match, a lot more defensive play.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
but you still take your jabs every now and
The
then.
play goes up at some point, you know.
Well, that's part of it.
Yeah.
Right. So it encourages you to, and because it's tournament, right, only the top X amount of players are getting paid. So early on, don't take those risks. Later on, you know, kind of it starts becoming go big or
It's
go
a whole
home.
different game, man. Even throughout the tournament, the strategy of the game changes wildly. It's super interesting.
Yeah.
In conclusion, start playing poker.
I got too many hobbies. That's part of it too. It's not that I don't like or that I like hate poker or that I don't. It's like I'm sure it is fun, but it's like I got too many things I'm interested in already, and I get obsessive about shit. So it's why I don't play golf. It's why I don't collect records. It's why
that would be dangerous for you.
I mean, look at the books, dude. I bought a couple of books, and now look around.
Yeah.
I get obsessed with shit. So like, you know, I get obsessed with collecting microphones and shit. Like if I get into something like, you know, I'll spend so much time on it. Like I don't need to spend the next 5 years trying to figure out how to play poker. It's a little late in the game for me to be doing that. So it's like,
I feel like you would be really good, man. Which this may be part of the reason you don't want to do it.
Maybe. No, not at all. That would be. It would definitely be better.
Like
to
anything,
be good
it
at
takes a significant amount of time to get good at it, right? Like you're not just going to stumble ass
I
backwards.
feel like Ross would, you know, pick it
I'd
up
dominate
pretty quick.
immediately, boys.
Yeah.
Just coming in, taking everybody's
I'm
money.
all in, bitches.
Reading Poker for Dummies one night and fucking coming into school and everybody.
I've got I've got textbooks for poker, dude. The pages and the hours of fucking poker I have watched and studied.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I was always good at other
I'm
card
an opposing
games too.
force at the table, gentlemen. I'm not gonna lie.
Most of my
I was
soak me in a
good
little
at
bit.
euchre when we were playing euchre. I haven't played in so long that like I wouldn't be good like right now. It'd take me a minute, but like we used to play a ton of spades too, which is similar to euchre.
Yeah, I never got big into spades, but
Spades is
euchre,
great.
man, that was the shit. Back
Spades
in the
is
day.
like a longer, better, more.
Have played it. It's a lot of fun.
To me, it's like more. It makes more sense than euchre. That's why people have such problems learning euchre because a lot of euchre is really goddamn random. You know, like there's this. It's weird. There's like no like.
It's the gentleman's game, baby. Love
But
me
you
some
know, it's like
euchre, boys.
super
Love me some
Michigan.
euchre.
Like it's
Yeah.
like
It is ultra
if you go to
Michigan.
Florida and you're like, yo, let's get a euchre game going. Like
They're
you're
missing
like,
out,
What?
son.
I've never even heard of this.
Florida don't know. Florida don't know. They ain't got nothing on
Yeah.
some euchre, son.
Euchre's fun. I do got a euchre app on my phone that I've spent some hours on. Fucking like when I was flying a lot a couple years ago.
We
It
should
was
get a
lot of
rotating fucking euchre game going.
Get a
That's
euchre
the
night.
move, dude. Fucking
I got
spread the
a
wealth a little
fucking
bit.
poker table actually that I just found at my dad's. I was actually talking to Wood about it. I was like, yo,
okay.
you want this poker table? You know, so maybe I'll set it up here and just use it for euchre.
Yeah, just start throwing it down.
Yeah, man. If you don't want that, let me know.
Oh, you're interested in it? I talked to Tony about it too. He didn't want it, so
Oh, Tony has a custom.
I'm
poker
sure
table.
he's got.
It's
fucking-
9-sided.
Yeah, this one's
a lot of sides.
8-sided.
Oh, wow. That's standard.
Yeah.
Yeah. 6 or 8, I think, is standard. But
Yeah,
8's
gotta be.
great, dude.
A 9 was it some kind of weird? That's a fucking
Right. What do you even call that?
I'm
Like
a big fan of the racetrack
Yeah.
style, baby. Just fit as many,
Yeah.
family style as many as you can cram in there.
Oh man, I got that like big empty spot in my basement, like that empty room kind of. That'd be perfect.
Yeah, you could fucking host a game night in there.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, all right.
Thinking about doing like an Airbnb thing with my place. So.
Yeah, you were talking about that. That'd be tight too. The fucking I was just hearing though that like Airbnb is really taking a dive, man. They're getting hit hard.
Competition or just people traveling less?
It's just become such a thing of like the houses are becoming crappier, the prices are coming down, so it's actually like hotels are really coming back up. There's all these rules with Airbnbs that people are getting pissed. It's like you have to like now it's all like you have to do all your own cleaning and all this, and people are like, I left a couple dishes in the thing like that. I'm just gonna go to a hotel and the fucking maid's gonna make the bed
That's the
after I
whole
leave.
point of being on
That's the whole
vacation, is
point,
fucking
right?
trashing and making somebody clean up after you.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
people that are just kind of like, this actually sucks. And then it's also on the flip side of that, fucking the real estate market's just like, all these cities and everything are signing all these things and that you can't have rentals in these neighborhoods because people don't want these fucking houses as rentals because it's fucking hooligans there all the time. It's like you're just in a nice neighborhood.
Yeah.
They're like, I didn't move and buy this nice house in a
Panama
nice
City
neighborhood
Beach every other weekend.
to
Spring
have
break,
this
so, yeah.
fucking party house next to me 24/7.
Yeah.
You know, so like all these fucking like laws on all this shit, and I frankly agree with that. Like, you know, like. I'm not opposed to Airbnb, but so I don't know. A lot of those things, that's what I was hearing about it, are kind of catching up, and Airbnbs are really fucking taking a hit.
Yeah, Tony's son kind of got like a tax warning or something. Like the city made him stop renting out his apartment as an Airbnb.
Yeah, he was doing that.
That's well played. That's a veteran move for sure. Gotta have it.
When Airbnb started, though, it was legit. Like you could just like crash on somebody's couch and shit before it became like this huge like fucking.
I don't know, man. Have you seen Hostel?
Have you seen Kai the
Yeah, you get some Kai looking motherfucker up in there, dude.
Smash!
Straight out of Dogtown, smash.
All right, boys. I think we should probably wrap it up.
Let's do it.
All right. Thanks for coming on, Noah. So,
Hey, no worries, man. Anytime.
All right. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.